It's clobbering time.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Clobberanimo!
Welcome, friends, to CLOBBERIN's Clubhouse. On this fine almost stepped on your wee. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think I was early.
No, that was me. Well, hello, everybody. It's CLOBBERIN's Clubhouse number 55. It is, of course, Clobbering Times. Issue number
55.
55. Number, was it 462? But it's 1,162 overall. No, the numbering's not important anyway. Nothing's really important anymore, to be honest with you folks, because I just spent a few hours, not a lot of hours, in a torture chamber and have no will left to live. And so, boy, and I got hung out to dry, too. What did I tell you who hung me out to dry on this thing? But anyway, I'm going to out them all. They're all in trouble, including Mr. D with C. Because, some guys just were going to go see something and didn't, and I'm the only one that did. But before I go there, of course, as you all saw, I have the most wonderful first officer in the fleet here with me tonight. My wonderful, beautiful friend, the amazing Commander R.M. Briggs, just less than a week away now from the debut of her book. You saw the commercial for it. We're going to do a special on it. Yeah, you bring this network's ratings down, Flavius, and we'll do a special on you. That's what we're going to do, a special on her next week, folks, for the release of my wonderful first officer's book. As you can see the info there in the chat. So welcome, number one.
You're so generous and so kind to me, and you're such a loyal friend. I love you very, very, very much. And thank you for all of your help with my book, and thank you for letting me be on your show.
Are you kidding me? It's our show. This show is ours. It's the Clubhouse. It's everybody. We don't have. We're missing a crew member. Our chief engineer had a special away mission to attend to. But I'm still. He still deserves kicks because he and a few other friends, so-called friends, who are going to go see that and suffer like I did today, did not go. And not Mark. Mr. J-Man, where are you? Mr. Sean, where are you? You guys, we're going to go see it. And then they couldn't go. They backed out. They got refund. Sean last night was saying he was going to go in my chat, and then he didn't go. Guess who went? The one dumbass who went. Me. Of our whole group. Went and watched Black Pantsless Wakanda for never. Me. All alone in the night. How is that fair? It's not. It's evil. Why should I be the only one to suffer? Don't answer that. Anyway, show notes, of course, folks. Tomorrow night I should be hanging out with our fantastic friends over at the comic shop on Nick's channel, but they didn't go either. I bet I'm the only schlub that went other than the big YouTubers who had to. Paulie's there. Oh, Paulie, dude, I talked to Paulie before. I think Paul, you better not back out on it, dude. Yeah, I ain't been here. You're probably at the theater right now. You better be at the damn theater right now, boy. I'm telling you, man. I don't care all that jujitsu, you know. I will whoop you. He better. I don't want to be the only one. So anyway, Saturday night Star Trek 4 more scintillating episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Dun, 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 dun.
What she said. So yes, it's that's the only real show note I have. Let us say hello to our friends in the chat, and then we'll get along. We'll get on to business. We're not when it's the clubhouse. We don't have any business. Just saying that.
Get along. Get here, little doggy.
JT Kirk's here. Oh, first, sorry. JT Kirk's here. What's up, buddy? He was the
JT
first one in there. Also, but we always like to shout our wrenches out too. You know, the great Chris Persia. Thank you, Chris. As always, the Vindicator Wrench of the North. Good to see you.
Hello,
there,
handsome. I love you.
Good to see you, man. The great D-Bud Martin, Wrench of Iron. I don't know if he's here, but we also have the great Eric K. Bronze Wrencher. I don't know if any of them are here, but they've been so much for the channel. Whether here or not, we just shout them out.
We do.
Because they deserve it.
We do.
So let's see who else is with us. JT is here. Kal-El, buddy, the great Superlon. What's up, brother?
Hello.
Phantom outside, there was a man. He was a big man. What's up, buddy? Probably, let's see. Oh, he says, probably needed medical care for after seeing the fail of Wakanda Forever, soon to be under new management. I wish. It needs to be. Oh. Yes, I sat through that, so you can all make fun of me. I deserve it. Max Redstone, what's up, bud?
Maximum Redstone.
Steve G Sound.
Steve G Sound. How's your shoulder? I hope you're okay, honey. I hope you're on the mend.
Indeed. Jeff Morris. Hail.
Jeff. Thank
you for being here. Let's see. I'm hungry for something Quatermassive to begin. Sorry. The great hungry boy. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
One of my favorite men. The official artist of CLOBBERIN Times and the official artist of my science fiction collection. And you all are going to get to see his painting on the 15th. It's going to be the big reveal.
Oh, can't wait. It's going to be fantastic and good to see you there, hungry boy. And D-Mud said he's here. He'll be switching over to streaming this on TV, so I won't be able to the chat. Got to hear Club. I'll be brief when I go into the movie, but okay, sure. I'll get that to you in a second.
No.
Let's see here. Donnie Pearson.
Donnie.
Hello there. Yes, he says. Oh, Donnie Pearson says, happy United States Marine Corps birthday. Yes, indeed. Semper Fi. Hope everyone is well. Semper Fi. Do or die. Hoorah. Yes, indeed. Absolutely, to our wonderful Marines. Let's see here. I think that's everybody at the moment, but anyone else who pops in will, of course, be acknowledged. Should I just get that out of the way? Because I'm going to be on, I guess I'm going to talk to some people and eventually on some other shows. I think I'm going to be on with Polly Saturday afternoon or whatever to talk about the movie.
It's going to be so bad. I think you're going to have to do rounds. Like, I think you're going to have to go into everyone's channel and talk about it.
Nobody's seeing it. People who said they're seeing aren't seeing. And I'm kidding, of course, with my good buddy J-Man and Sean. I don't blame them at all, but they did say they were going. So they're not here, but in case you guys hear this later, I'm ragging on you, but I'm just kidding with you. We love those guys.
Do it.
Oh yeah, and anyone who is listening on, anyone who's lurking out there or listening on a download, thank you so much. We always appreciate you.
Yeah.
Download, rewatch, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if it's not too much trouble, please share this channel and this stream.
Oh, yes, please do. Yeah, Chris says, so it's official. November 15th shall be International RM Briggs Day. Yes.
I love you. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
I love you, Chris. Thank you.
No, take your time on Wakanda Klobby so we can run out of time for Trippy Goobers. We're going to have to do a Trippy Goober. Sorry, dude, because I didn't do one last night.
I love goober. It's such a great word.
And then later we'll talk a little bit about the 2 losses to the comic book world this past week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Somebody did pass away. I saw that on Twitter. It's horrible.
Two of them. Let's see here. Claude Salang. Hey,
yeah,
what's up? Limerick. He wished to be strangled by an anaconda or maybe trampled by a Honda. That poor Clobberin Times gent, the only one who actually went, will forever be tortured by Wokonda. I'm just going to change it to Wokonda. I'm sure you won't mind. Thank you, buddy.
That's a great name for it.
It really is. We'll need to talk about that movie for years. Oh, Clobberin Times with therapists. Yeah, no, I'll really pretty much forget about it, to be honest. But okay, I don't know what the worst sin is. Because when you say I've heard people say, and I've probably been guilty of this myself sometimes, like, well, it wasn't so much bad as it was boring. I think boring should mean bad. Okay. I don't know. I don't think I think they should be conflated. I don't think they should be separated. Do you? I mean, if it's a movie and it's there to entertain and thrill you and it's boring, that means it's bad. Because I've done it too, probably. So, well, it's so much boring. It's so bad. It's just boring. Boring's bad. It's bad to be bored, folks, in a movie that you paid money to go see. It's bad.
I can't believe you paid money to see that movie.
What you want to do? Go in there and steal it?
No, but I just can't believe everyone convinced you to go see it.
Not everyone. I've tried to explain. I haven't explained it to you before.
No. What happened?
I have a very dear friend of mine. I don't know if he's listening now. My good buddy. Well, I don't say his name. That I've been going to these movies since 2010, and we only get to see each other when these movies come out because he lives a good passel away, and he's had some medical issues and things like that, and we don't get to see that much. And that sitting down in there is really rough for him at the theater. But it's something we do together. We all make a day of it and stuff. And I definitely don't want him driving at night. I don't want to say this, I don't like really saying it out in public like that because he might be hearing me say. But I just I'm doing it for him. I even checked with him and said, "You sure you want to go see this?"
What did he say?
he wanted to. I mean, he likes to go see these things. What can I tell you?
Oh, Zalthris is here. Crap.
I did not want to go, and I would not have gone. And you are my buddy. If you happen to be listening, if not, he knows. Look, man, I said, dude, I don't want to see this, but I'll go for you. What was worse, Black Panther or DS9 or B5 Rules? Black Panther's way worse. So if you're hearing this, dude, I'm just saying, look, I still didn't have to go, but I wanted to go for you because we've been going all this time. So that's what I'm kind of wanting him to think like I want to sound like to him that I was, hurting because I went, but it was pretty bad. I just feel uncomfortable like laying it all on him in public because he might hear it.
Oh, well. But he might also interpret it the way that it's intended, which is that you are a loyal friend and you care about him and he's your buddy. So it's a tradition that you guys hold on to. And so, you'll endure. You're going to grin and bear it.
It was, let's see here. The movie starts off, I'm not going to be spoilery that much, everybody, but everyone knows that unfortunately the great Chadwick Boseman passed away.
Yeah, that was sad. And
hello there, Ginger Ninja. Good to see you. Welcome.
Cool name. I hope you're Ginger Ninja.
I hope so. So we also know, it's not really big spoilery to know that they've decided to have the character be dead as well. So this movie, and look, say what you want about the Marvel movies. I thought they were really good for the first 10 years, and they've been really, the last 6 or 7 times I thought they've been pretty awful. They slowly transmogrified from the MCU into the MCU, and now they're full on MCU, and they're not even in that. They're just not good anymore. They're bad in every single way to be bad. Again, in my opinion, not everyone agrees. I get that, but I don't care. This first quarter of this movie, almost the first, I don't know, maybe just felt longer, was a freaking funeral, folks. A funeral. You start out a superhero movie with a funeral, not just mentioning, okay, he's passed away, let's move on. It's that, then the funeral, and it's the mourning. I call me Mr. Old Fashioned, but that's not what people sign up to see superhero movies for. Yes, characters die, sure, and that's one thing. I mean, at the end of Endgame, I didn't like the deaths in that one either, but they happened at the end at least. Okay. You had a bit of a downer. This movie, but when you start a movie out on a downer like that, and you wallow in it for 20, 30 minutes, I'm like, you just, oh my God, I want it to end. This is bumming me the hell out. I know that, and it's even worse because the man really did pass away. What if he didn't, and he just didn't do the movie, and then they did that to the character? It would be a little bit less of a bummer. But it's reminding them of something that happened in real life, and it sucks.
He's a very young man too.
He was young. Yeah,
he passed away from cancer, right?
Yes, he was 42, I believe.
Poor guy.
A couple years back. So we all know he's gone. You should have recast the role or not made the movie yet. One or the other. But okay, he's gone. Pay tribute to him, certainly. But
pay tribute to him, but it's the thing is that greed will interfere with anything dignified or graceful in the way of honoring the character and the actor. And to die at 41 years old from cancer is just absolutely terrible. But
greed, be in a freaking superhero movie.
Yeah, greed kills grace. And so they do things like, have a character funeral at the beginning of the movie, and they think that is a way of making it all okay, and it's not all okay. And I think you are right to question it, because this isn't an author who's written something; it's a corporation.
This is corporate
corporate greed.
Yeah. It is. It is, but it's also with a lot of factors to it. But here's the thing: here's where it's not smart, not even smart corporate greed. Okay. You have a character. I didn't like the first Black Panther movie. I thought Chadwick was great in Civil War, where they introduced this character. Then I thought they really short shrifted him in the Black Panther film, but he was still great in it. They just didn't handle the character the way I wanted him, because I'm a big fan of the character long before even any of those idiots making the movie were born in many cases. But be that as it may, the first movie made over $1 billion, and that means it did extraordinarily well. Hello there, Ezra Goldstein.
Hey, Ezra.
It did extraordinarily well in merchandising. So if you see what I mean, they had toys and T-shirts and all this other Black Panther stuff and Black Panther costumes. Kids were going nuts for Black Panther in 2018 when the film came out, dressing up as him and all this other stuff. So do we really think that that's a smart idea to start out a movie after he really does pass, and then show, wallow in his death for a bunch of kids to see? How are they going to walk out of that inspired? There's nothing inspiring in this movie. And then after that, it's a turgid war between two isolationist fictional countries. Is basically what it is, with a few little elements of comic book stuff sprinkled into this morass of war between these two countries, these fake countries that are supposed to be Marvel, mythical countries, and they just they're ethno-states. They're Sean.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, boss, but he's here. He's like, sorry, I had to go it alone, Globby.
Seeing it tomorrow, but no, don't do it, man. Don't. I was teasing. You probably heard me earlier, Sean. I was saying, damn it, J-Man and Sean, guys, you let me down. Kidding. Hey, as your friend, I'm telling you, man, it's a bore. And I don't know, you might disagree. First, all the so-called action sequences in the first 20 or 30, a half hour, maybe even more than that, of the 20 hours that the movie lasts, are really darkly shot as an excuse.
Sean, I love Sean so much. Did you just see what he put in the chat? It looks fascinatingly insufferable and baffling.
The only thing I was fascinated with, sir, was my phone.
Oh,
because
boy.
I wanted to do it. I wanted to play games on it. I wanted to play with Facebook and Twitter on it, or do anything but pay attention to this stupid movie. Why do I want to see? First of all, here's the thing: you lose me. Hello there, Pleasant Valley Picker.
Hi, Pleasant Valley Picker.
When you bum me out in the first freaking 20 minutes, I'm out of here. I mean, I'm checked out of the movie right away because I'm like, wow, I get it. He died, and that's a shame. If you get, it's bad enough you're killing you're killing the fictional character, but you're going to wallow in the death of the fictional character and the real man at the same time for 20 minutes in this movie that's supposed to be a blockbuster action film.
Mm-hmm.
Switching to TV streaming now. If you haven't already, please. Thank you, D-Bud. Good to see you there, bro. Thank you.
Thanks, D-Bud.
That's just not what people go to see these movies for. Chris says, as you yourself have pointed out, Clobby, the Black Panther was a scientist, but Disney decided to make him a mere man of action, taking away his intellect. They don't realize the message they're sending. Now, they had one line later in the film that was the only thing I liked about the whole movie, that actually, I don't believe it got past it, because they actually did, very late in the game, because, he's already gone now, admit that T'Challa taught Shuri everything she knows, which I guess is something, but that's lip service, because in the first movie, he was portrayed as an airhead, and she was a smart, can do everything. She's the bestest ever. She's Michael Burnham in this movie. Folks, she is Mikey Spock. Hey, J.D. Lewis. Good to see you, buddy.
J.D. Lewis!
She's Mikey Spock. Riri Williams is boring-ass Mikey Spock .2. And she's not interesting. Let's see here. For a movie to be anywhere close to palatable, I personally, and then not everyone, I guess, agrees with this, but maybe you kind of see what I'm saying. I got to have at least one or two characters I can give a flying crap about, that I can get into in some small way, or not so much relate to. I don't like to use that terminology, but just that I can like them. I can get behind them a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, because a superhero movie relies on that relationship with the audience, where you're cheering for the good guys to win. So yeah, absolutely. It's not like you're going to see some sort of docudrama or some, intense crime thriller. You're going to see a superhero movie. So I totally agree with you. You have to be invested in someone on the screen to create that moment of triumph. That's what the superhero mechanism is supposed to fulfill.
Right. And Letitia Wright, who does a fine job as an actress, is given nothing to work with other than grieving about her brother, being pissed off about her brother, and grieving on her brother the whole time. That's all she is. And being the bestest ever at everything. And fighting with her mom. And it's like, okay, it's nothing we've ever seen a million times before. She's not particularly compelling character. And we all know she's going to be Black Panther in the last half of the movie, or last quarter of the movie. Who cares? I don't, but I just don't care.
So that's why they spent 20 minutes saying goodbye to Bozeman, because they've given the mantle to someone already.
Oh yeah, they did that. This kind of comics did that too for a while, but he came back. But this, yes, I firmly believe that even if he had been alive and not passed and had been in this movie, he certainly would have been in it. But they would have eventually passed it to her. So they had him it's the MCU. They would have had him getting hurt, maybe even killed the character in the movie, and then they would have passed it to her anyway.
Yeah.
But that's a belief. I've had friends say that they wouldn't have done that. I don't see how they could say that. But Sean says, I love Namor. Do you leave wanting more of him? It doesn't look like. No, sir. You leave wanting to see Namor at all. He's not Namor. I like how Victoria Alonso, that idiot, said he's Namor. He's supposed to say Namor. And he says that a couple times, but everyone else just says Namor in the movie. And he's not the Submariner. They screw his origin absolutely horrifically stupid. And I'm not even going to call it Talokan or whatever, Taklakan or whatever they called us, where he lives. I'm calling it not Atlantis, because it's not Atlantis and it looks like shite. He's boring. And I'm sorry, this is not a prejudice, folks. That accent doesn't work for Namor. The accent in this movie is terrible. I've heard many people say the guy is a good actor, and I'm sure he is. I never blame actors. He did what he was told to do. Not knocking him. I do think that, and look, I live in a glass house, I grant it, but I'm not playing Namor. So if you play Namor, you can't have a dad bod. I'm sorry. Look at him in the comics. He's got the perfectly ripped swimmer type of a body. He's a big, tall, lanky dude with the head of Mr. Spock. Yes, he's got the pointed ears, but they look stupid on him in this. And he just even got the hair. I mean, a lot of people thought Spock looked like Namor when they first saw him. If they were comics fans, but Namor had been around a little bit longer. But he has that kind of, look, his head and everything. So Submariner, which I'm glad they don't even bother calling him that in this. It's just, he's just nothing. He's lifeless. There's nothing interesting to his character. And when he explains his stupid origin, I wanted to throw up. It was so stupid. Ugh. He does call himself a mutant, but the way he and his whole people come about is asinine and stupid and done just as an excuse so they don't have to use Atlantis because they wanted to make them Aztecs.
Aztecs for Atlantis?
They got rid of Atlantis. They just made them. What? They wanted them to be Aztecs so they could be Hispanic characters. Basically.
Oh, okay.
And then they became blue. I keep wanting to say Atlanteans just because that's what they are in the comics, but they became they based their beliefs on the god Tuclacan or whatever, and that's why he had. And I'm not even going to go into. I won't go into how he gets his powers and stuff. Just suffice to say, it's moronic, and it's not from the comic book. Shocker! I know you're all shocked by that. That they said screw the comic. The subpar mariner.
You mean the original source material?
Yeah, who needs that? That's the best. Look who
you're
wins
not
the
supposed to get mad, Clobby.
No, you're not.
The original source material is it's garbage. There's
No
not enough to
it.
go on there. It has to be rewritten, right?
Exactly. Hunger Boy wins the day with that one. The subpar mariner. Yes, sir. So, and it's just beyond that. The whole plot is that. Should I tell anyone the plot? Does anyone want to? No, maybe I'll leave it. Let you know.
Did you want to put up a ticker?
It's not that spoilery.
Spoilers.
I'll tell you what the basic plot is. It's not that spoilery.
Okay, rock and roll, boss.
Because nothing happens anyway. I don't think I could spoiler it if I tried. To be honest with you, because nothing that I would tell you would surprise you. You'd be like, whatever. It's nothing secrety. Atuma is not a real. No, Atuma is just one of Namor's sycophants who has a couple of fights with Okoye or whatever her name is, the Dara Milaje chick, and he's called Atuma once. So there's no villain. Namor's the villain. Atuma's just his lackey, and Namor is barely in it. They called her that once. So she basically what it is, folks, is vibranium has been discovered in another part of the globe, and some Americans and evil, rotten, disgusting, colonializing Americans, pigs from hell, are mining for it in the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean, and the Notlanteans don't like it. They don't want
Notlanteans.
They don't want Americans or anyone else getting their hands on vibranium, so they kill everybody on the boat, on the rig. And then they find out that there's this person, they just call the person the scientist. The scientist, Namor calls him that, he tells the Wakandan queen, she said, you've got to go to America and find this scientist and bring that scientist back so I can kill him to keep the secret. Because the scientist has apparently invented a device that can track vibranium, and Namor doesn't want anybody in any other country to get their hands on vibranium because it's so dangerous. Only Wakanda. It was thought that only Wakanda has it. We find out that Atlantis has it. So he sends. He meets with he makes himself known to the Wakandans who didn't even know Atlantis existed, and he sends the Dora Milaje chick and Shuri to go to Cambridge, to MIT, to a 19-year-old girl, Riri Williams. Yes, Ironheart from the comics. the stupid, idiotic character that was that came around in like 2000, what is it, 13 or 14, to replace Tony Stark. Because Marvel's so stupid they wouldn't keep Tony Stark in his own comics to sell him, even though their movies were making a lot of money with him in it. His replacement girl, and she's called the Scientist. She's this 19-year-old girl came up with something that could track vibranium, and Namor wants them to take him to bring him back so he could kill her. That's the plot, folks. Namor wants to kill Riri Williams. I kid you not.
Wow.
The Scientist. And, of course, Shuri and what's her name try to bring her back to Wakanda to keep her safe. But Namor and Atuma and his Not-Lantians kidnap Shuri and Riri. And basically the rest of the movie is about a war between Wakanda and Not-Lantis because Namor wants Wakanda to join Not-Lantis in conquering the rest of the world and defeating all the other countries.
I love this Not-Lantis. This is great. Not-Lantis.
And when the Queen of Wakanda doesn't agree with that, they have a war. That's the whole movie, folks. I just spoiled it for you. I just saved you the trouble. Did I go too far spoiling? I don't think so. The rest, I mean, look, I'm you had to decide to drive on the vessel. So now you know the basic plot. I didn't really spoil it. But why not just destroy the machine? No, he wants to make sure that no one can make the machine again.
Okay.
But he wants to murder Riri Williams. And after you watch this movie, you might want to as well. No. To be honest, she's just dull. She's not really she's not even, you know what? They have some annoying characters in the MCU. These characters aren't even really good enough to be annoying. They're just boring. Riri didn't, her helmet looks stupid. And the fact that she could just steal some Tony Stark designs and make Iron Man woman girl armors is pretty ridiculous because she's at MIT and she's got this garage where she rebuilds all this technology, this Tony Stark level. Man, Tony Stark had bazillions of dollars to make all this stuff. How could she make it in the garage? Whatever. Anyway, so everyone now, congratulations. You now know what happened. Well, the basic outline of the 2 hour and 41 something minutes.
Holy, a superhero movie that's 2 hours and 40 minutes?
I want to correct you on one thing. It's not a superhero movie. It's just about a war movie based on a superhero property.
Okay, I gotcha.
A political war movie. And I call it Black Pantsless Wakanda for Never. I
like the Not-Lantians.
Yeah, the Not-Lantis and not the Not-Lantians from Not-Lantis and the Not Namor and the Not Mariner. The subpar Mariner is perfect, by the way. I love it. He's boring. Everybody's boring. This movie is lifeless, dull. There's nothing inspiring about it. There's nothing fun about it. And M'Baku, I kind of liked him in the first movie. He's kind of sort of the only character that has any kind of charm to the whole movie, and he's barely in it. Even yes, they changed his character from the comics.
Wait 1 second. This is so dumb. I have to make sure that he's not just kidding around because Chris can be sarcastic sometimes. Chris Persia says, helmet, the fact she turned her shoulder and chest plate into a giant heart. Is this true?
Yeah, she's Ironheart. Yeah, she's called Ironheart, not Iron. You want to hear something worse? Because the girl wears cornrows, she made her helmet, her Ironheart helmet has cornrows. I swear to God.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know if that's in the comic book like that because I never read her comic, but it's in the movie.
Wow.
No, he's serious. Yeah, it's true.
2 hours and 41 minutes. I mean, your average superhero movie, I don't think should be more than maybe an hour and a half max.
There's no post-credit scene, but there is a mid-credit scene. Usually there's a mid-credit scene in a Marvel movie than a post-credit. I'm told there's no post-credit scene. Unless my friend was trying to spare me. He said, no, I promise you, we don't have to wait for the end credits because they don't have one. The director himself, Coogler, said it would ruin the moment. Well, the post-credits and the mid-credit scene is nothing interesting. There are no good cameos in this movie at all, unless you count Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Big deal. She was in Captain America. She was in Falcon Winter Soldier dumb show or whatever. And she was,
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Isn't that the girl from that show my husband likes?
Yes.
The Seinfeld?
Yes, she's
Well, she's not a superhero.
She's
What's
director of
she doing
S.H.I.E.L.D..
in a superhero movie?
She's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., but they wouldn't even show S.H.I.E.L.D., and they had Martin Freeman in it, folks, from the first one, you know. But
sounds weird.
This movie's just dull. Good God, it sucks. No Doctor Doom hit anywhere. Well, says Sean, sir, if you are unlucky enough to watch it, tell me if you find one, because if it's in there, it's such a hint. There'll probably be somebody making a video this week, like they always do, like missing Easter eggs in Black Panther 2 that you might have missed, and then they'll find something that's so minuscule. Look, this is a hint at Doctor Doom. Well, you know what? If that's in there, they can screw off, because I didn't see it. Now, granted, it wasn't easy to stay awake, but I had popcorn and cherry Coke, and I refrained from checking my phone that much. I listened and watched. I wanted to know what was going on, and it was not easy to pay attention.
Coke.
I have some right now. I'm going to take some more.
I love cherry Coke. It's the best.
The most interesting thing was the scene when we walked out of the movie, into the lobby.
Okay.
Because of the audience, there were a lot of people there. There were a lot of people there because we were at a 3:30 showing, which means it started at 4 almost. And, you know, so when we walked out, it was like the 7 some odd whatever feature. And a lot of people in Wakandan mourning garb, mourning for T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman, I suppose. But
they were cosplaying the death.
No, I don't think they were No, they were there in garb that was intended to be like, you know, in certain countries, in African countries, I guess that's meant to be for mourning of someone that's passing. They were, you know, so it was interesting. But anyway, so it'll do some good business this weekend, probably.
Oh.
I don't know. This movie is just a good. I really could not stand the first movie. I don't like it, especially on later viewing. This one's worse. In fact, let me see here. I have Eternals as the worst of the 29. Now there are 30 Marvel movies. Now I've watched all 30 of them because I'm dumb. So, let me see. Where do I rank this sucker? I got to wait to rank it probably. I may rank it somewhere around. It might be worse than Captain Marvel. It might be worse than Eternals, or it's close. It's somewhere up in there. It's tough because it's got some really stupid woke crap in it, but it's not like over the top where you just go crazy. You're just like, oh God. It's one of those types. So like, oh dear, that stuff again. Yeah, whatever. It's not like outstanding. It's just sort of, all right, yeah, whatever, dude. Sure. And
it's a sociological and political statement.
It's got stuff in there. Yeah.
It's not so much for entertainment as it is that, you know, that sort of placebo that people are using in corporate film to create these sociological statements, right? And sometimes
it's old, right?
Yeah.
And it's old hat, basically something it's nothing they haven't done. They've been doing. I think that's what it is. So, like for example, in all these movies now, everything about this movie is about the girl power. There are no good male characters. They're not particularly. Namor is a biatch, and he gets punked by Shuri. This is a guy that's allegedly supposed to be able to slug it out with Hulk and Thor and the Thing, who gets his ass whooped.
Okay, so I don't know anything about comic books. Everyone knows this, so that's why I'm like, ooh, oh. But I will say this. Let me just take a guess at what the girl who beat up this superhero who can slug it out with Hulk and the Thing and all. Let me guess what she looks like. She is 4'11" to 5'2". She weighs about $110 to $125. She has short hair or shoulder length hair in sort of like a bob style, and she is dressed as a superhero. So she has like punching and kicking power that could take out a guy that, you know, that is like 7 feet tall. Am I right?
Well, normally
what does she look like?
You'd be close, but no, because she has superpowers enhanced by this herb thing. But
that's not the point. Let's talk about the semiotics. Let's talk about the signs, the symbols, and the artifacts. The paro or the plaro and the long. So what is said and what is understood? Tell me what the girl looks like. I'm not letting the corporation off the hook. Is she little? Is she wee?
She's tall but very, very thin.
Okay.
I'll do a picture. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
You know, you'll see here. She's got. Let's find a picture of Shuri. Here's one. This would be a good one to show. This will give you a basic idea here of Shuri, a lovely lady for sure.
She's beautiful, I'll bet.
Oh yeah, she's a beautiful girl and all that stuff. I think anyway. Yes, she's tiny. First of all, she just doesn't know. Black Panther urban enhanced powers are no match for Submariner. Should not be any match for the Submariner. Of course, she's not the Submariner. So here we go.
Let's
That's
see
her.
who this girl is. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, not likely she could beat up anyone. Okay.
Well, again, superpowers, but we're talking about Black Panther with that dumb enhanced thing to do for his powers, or now her with this could take out a bunch of normal human beings because with enhanced movement, and even she can with those powers. Well, I have no problem when they do it when your fantasy excuses superpowers. But when she doesn't have the powers, no, she can't fight. But,
I agree with that. I agree with that. But I just want to state my case, which is that like 2 years ago, when you and I first started hanging out, there was this really big push in corporate America that corporations were going to take a hold of these IPs. They were going to take a hold of these comics, the original source material, and they were going to reform them so that they could reflect the politics and the values of today, presentism. And they were going to do it in a very hyper didactic way. They were going to use hegemony. They were going to be overly demonstrative, and they would admonish the audience. But I just think it's funny that here we are 2 years later, and you're supposed to be this horrible person, and here you are saying that it's okay if she's teeny tiny because she has a superpower. But I just think it's funny because so many people say terrible things about any criticism of these new corporate things. But I would just like to say that the idea that the man has to, or the actor has to take multiple steroids, throw up from basically giving himself an eating disorder to become a mountain of a man, a big, steroid jock, that's still expected from men. And these women don't have to do anything to get into shape for any of these movies. They're either CGI'd like She-Hump, or they stay teeny tiny, and they're just given the superpower to overthrow the men. That doesn't sound like the feminist reformation that we were promised. It just doesn't. And I think it's hysterical that you're supposed to be the big bad boogeyman, and yet here you are saying that it's okay with you. Just proves to me your character and what a wonderful person you are, and that there is nothing yucky about your opinions. It's really, there's nothing evil or dark or scary in anything that you're thinking or saying. It's really just that you love the original source material and would like to stay that way. But if you're looking at this stuff and you're looking at all this stuff that they promised that they were going to correct and admonish us for, they just turned around and done the exact same thing. It's the same thing. So they're no better. They're no better. And now they've made it so unrealistic. It's just, yeah. Are you seeing yourself on the film in celluloid, or are you not? I just think a lot of hypocrisy going on here, and I'm just saying that as an outsider.
Well, no, my whole thing about that stuff, and absolutely, what I'm saying is, they do it in normal movies where a character is a normal human being, and she's like 100 pounds soaking wet and 5 whatever, throwing 200 and 300 pound dudes around. That's stupid, and it should be called out because it's not even interesting because it's so out over the top. Again, if the movie's fun, we kind of let it go, but it's something to be said. But if the context of that fiction, if she's got some kind of superpowers, it's perfectly fine. But I'm going from a geeks. I'm talking about just this movie right now. It's her abilities with that, after taking that stupid herb, that gives her these Black Panther enhanced abilities, she could take out a bunch of human dudes or whatever, and that's one thing. But we're talking about a guy, like you said, Sean. Yes, there's a line in there where it's mentioned that theoretically, Namor could take on the Hulk because he has in the comics a lot. That she wouldn't have a chance against. I mean, not a shot. It's not, just because she can like knock a few dudes around with those powers. But yeah, so that's all I'm saying. But no, it's just, but like you say, everything you said there, and I appreciate it very much.
I'm just sorry, like it just goes to your character, the way that you break down these shows. It's, you really do always go after these plot holes. You really do go after these horrible continuity issues. You really do go after how sort of trying to reform something that isn't broken becomes something that's terrible, that defeats the purpose to begin with, and sort of makes everyone feel bad. And then all they've done is corporatize the image of the character, and not even use the original source material. So I just,
no, they don't care.
I have to say that, because whenever you talk about this stuff, yeah, you're a gentleman and a real sweetheart of a person, and what's in your heart is beautiful and wonderful and caring and smart and funny and loyal things. And I see what you're saying. I totally agree. Well, original source material is important, and if you're going to go around bragging about how you're going to reform that original source material and use presentism to sort of create a corporate product, you're going to have some pushback, and that pushback coming back at you with integrity and questioning your motives and the content itself, and criticizing it when it deserves criticism, I think is important. And I just wanted to say that because I love you and I hear what you're saying, and I agree.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. No, I got a point I was trying to get through there, though, was yes, they found a way where she cheated and weakened Namor a little bit with taking him out of the water with this kind of, but she still shouldn't have been able to kick his ass like that. And then, well, what she does is still, but the whole point is they made her Michael Burnham. They had her outsmart him because he's an idiot in this movie. And they had her trick him. Then they had her beat the crap out of him because she's the bestest ever.
Mary Sue.
So it's not that she just was stronger than him. No, she weakened him with some science. But the fact that she could do everything, and it's not the actress's fault. She's fine. She's just, this character's, I don't know about insufferable. She's just annoying. She's not a good character. She's nothing interesting about her. For me. Just for me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And Submariner, I don't know.
It's got to be the flower, which is hysterical because we all know, the symbolism behind a flower. If a flower is your power, right? Oh boy.
It was a flower.
That wow, that's just chock full of imagery. If a flower is your power, let that be the single thing. But or if she's going to outscience him, let her outscience him. But to do it all is to create that Mary Sue and to also get away from the original source material. And that's sad. It's just another one of these comics that they've gone and ruined. Sad.
Yep, this is my Submariner right there. Look who he's fighting, folks.
Hulk.
Subby can hang with the Hulk, baby. Hulk. And I want remember that theme song for the old Marvel superheroes cartoon for the Submariner? Stronger than a whale, he can swim anywhere, he can breathe underwater and go flying through the air. Something, mighty Prince Namor is the Prince of the Deep. Remember that, everyone? Yeah, and no, you don't. Of course you don't. You're not old. Well, some of you are. Some of you remember that. But yeah, this is my subby right here. Captain Infinity and beyond.
Captain Infinity. Hey, sweetheart.
This is the Submariner that we grow up loving. We don't get
stronger than a whale. Hey,
garbage movie.
Stronger than a whale.
Stronger than a whale. He can swim anywhere. He can breathe underwater and go flying through the air. That's the song. And look at that. I mean, you slugging it out with the Hulk there. He's hurting the Hulk there. One of my favorite all-time comics right here with this fight.
He says,
Take it easy, Sean.
turning in. We'll watch tomorrow. Take care. Sean, we love you, honey. Everybody follow Sean on
All right,
YouTube
buddy.
and also
Nope.
follow him on Twitter. We love you, Sean. Good night, honey.
Sean, don't do it, man. I'm relinquishing you from your responsibility. Don't go watch that movie.
Poor Sean.
Don't do it, brother. And tell J-Man not. I won't hold it against you guys. I don't want anyone to have to go see that. If you do, it's on you. You've been warned. I mean, if they've not been warned, they've been warned. I'm warning people. I'm kidding. Watch whatever you want to watch. But, I'm just saying, man.
So what was this hero's struggle? What did this hero have to overcome? This, what's the character's name? Riri?
Shuri. Well, Riri Williams is the side kind of. She's the and they're putting in there so they can give her own movie later. Okay. They're using this movie to launch her. This movie because they have no real, you don't have a charismatic type of a character like the Chadwick Boseman Black Panther character who was charismatic, who could have carried his own movie if they'd let him do it in the first one. And now he couldn't, obviously. But I mean, they don't have anybody like that for this movie. So it's just it's like this ensemble cast, even though it's called Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It's really nothing to do with the real Black Panther.
Oh, no. Oh, Keely's here.
Keely Chow. So it's
Keely.
Shuri. She's, I guess.
Shuri.
Yeah.
And so she's going to become the new Black Panther.
Like she's lost her brother. That's part of her struggle in this thing, and getting used to losing her brother, but then wants to protect Wakanda and all that stuff, which is all fine and good. It's a dumb, boring, idiotic idea for a story, really. Hello, roll tide, get it, chow. There we go. I got the lyric. I'd forgotten the lyrics for the. Here we go. Stronger than a whale. He can swim anywhere. He can breathe underwater and go flying through the air. The air, the noble submariner is the prince of the deep.
Did you see look at the next lyrics? So beware, you deadly demons. Lord Namor of Atlantis is the prince of the deep.
So beware, you deadly demons. Lord Namor is that. Lord Namor of Atlantis is the prince of the deep. Sorry, I mangled it there, Chris, but thank you for that lyrics. I love those lyrics for those old Marvel superheroes cartoons. The best. Like Doc Bruce Banner, belted by gamma rays, turned into the Hulk. Sorry.
So what they did is they took Chadwick Boseman's memory and they decided to use this film to parlay two characters as the next generation, the next iteration of this film. So now we're going to have this lovely young woman who's very slight. She's going to be the new Black Panther. And we also launched Namor as Aztec, did you say? Or Incan instead of Atlantic. Aztec instead of Atlantean. Okay. And so the corporations expect that no one's going to push back and be upset about this. We'll see.
They don't care. They know that.
Yeah.
Again, look, there's Namor.
After what they did to Star Trek, I have no.
He's slugging it out with.
Oh wow.
He's just a pansy. In this movie, he's a pansy. That you don't get this Namor. Not to be seen. What can I tell you?
He fights with Thor.
Well, yeah, I mean that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's considering the fact that Thor's a god, I would say so. Yeah.
Yep.
Even I know that, but I know that from I know that from mythos. I know that from mythology, not from comics. Yeah.
No, but yeah, absolutely. So yeah, well, what can you say? He's fought them all. He's fought them all. But a little girl with a few amped up flower power could trick him and beat his ass because he's a wimp. And boy, does he get punked at the end too. He becomes a total punk.
And there's so many cultures around the world who use flower as a euphemism for something else. And so I shake my head right now thinking about how she used the power of a flower. Oh boy.
And by the way, that was some horse hide that was done later to the character of Black Panther because he never had superpowers in the comics when I was reading them. And they did that in that last stupid movie. Look at that. He's fighting Iron Man. One of my favorite Kirby fights of ever. Look at that. Some of the great Kirby battle right there with Iron Man. One of my favorites ever. He fought Iron Man all the time. But no, in this one, he gets beat up by Shuri.
So what did the flower look like?
I think I said
did
it
the
before.
flower look like a
purple.
Female body part?
It's a purple No, it's a purple CGI purpley flower thing. So yeah, folks, this is the guy that they stuck stupid crap in his nose and a bunch of accoutrements all over his body and let him get punk bitched by Shuri because, of course, what's the lesson here again, folks? That's not the Submariner. At least I don't call him the Submariner in the movie. I'll give him that because he's not. He's not Namor, though, either. But what's funny is that idiot Victoria Alonso went around in these interviews before the premiere last week saying he's Namor. Because in the movie, wants to think the guy calls himself Namor, but the accent, though, everyone in Wakanda just keeps calling him Namor, which is what we call him now. Our buddy Steve Mitchum, who's not here with us tonight, he likes to correct. He always says it's supposed to be Namor, but everyone's been used to saying Namor forever. All right, Max, I hope you feel better later, buddy. I feel better later, man. Excuse me. See you later.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. I'm off. I'm still recovering from the flu. I need to rest. Good night, everyone. Good night, Max Redstone. It was so good to see you, sweetheart. And I'd like to welcome Oliver Belamonte into the room. Good evening, Oliver. It's so nice to see you.
Good to see Oliver. See, the thing about that, though, what you're saying, I did not like the original Black Panther film because it trashed bond between father and son by making T'Chaka a horrible deadbeat dad and actually a scumbag who killed his own brother. They ruined the character of T'Chaka just from the way he was really great in Civil War in terms of a good guy. That movie, Ryan Coogler shit all over T'Challa and T'Chaka in that movie, in my opinion. Yeah, it made $1 billion. I don't care. I hate it. Now, this is worse, but not by much. But anyway, it is worse. So, but thank you, Oliver. It's good to see you. Well, we'll get off this a second because we got some fun stuff for you. Raquel's got some great stuff lined up for us.
I think everyone is having fun with this because, you're the grand poobah of all of geekdom. You are a great tastemaker. People know that you are very even-handed in your criticisms and that you're always willing to give the benefit of the doubt. And so I think everyone was very eager to hear what you had to say tonight. And, I don't know anything about comics, but I can definitely tell you that everyone really, really appreciated your take, and they really appreciated you going to this movie before they did.
Well, I can just tell you that we got something that I know somebody in our audience is not going to appreciate. We might as well knock it out before we get to the fun stuff you have.
Hey, Glinser is here.
Glinser, hey there.
Hello, long time no see, my friend. Nice to see you.
Hungry Boy is not going to be too happy about this.
Did you see? He tweeted you that he didn't peek. He has no idea what Tripwire is this week.
Well, let's just see.
Fanty's like Tripwire. Ugh.
We're going to get it out of the way this week, folks. Well, this is a good one. Again, I might have him higher, but he's high now. He's pretty high at number 8.
Uh-oh.
Nah, you're going to be okay this week. I promise you, Hungry Boy.
We're going to be all right.
This is a guy that belongs anywhere in the top 10 you want to put him. He's, in my opinion, and I think you don't have to agree with me, Hungry Boy. It's cool. He would have been, as far as like judging the greatest, last week at number 9, of course, was Lou Fine, which again, very deserving, kind of maybe a little high for me, but all right, are we ready, Hungry Boy? You okay? We'll get all right, everyone. Okay, everybody.
Do it.
Tripwire, we discovered a while back, a former magazine, now a website thingy. I don't think they have an actual physical magazine anymore. Started the 101 top greatest comic artists of all time. They do one a week or whatever, and now they're down to. They've been counting them down, and I've had an issue with a lot of their, not so much their choices as their placement. Big time early on, especially. Like I'm talking yelling and screaming at them. Now you're getting down to the top. You're inside the top 10. It's a little bit different. I mean, those picks were probably good. Probably the placement may be a problem. This one, I'm fine with it. Again, I'm not saying it couldn't be higher or lower, but it's very deserving choice, and it is, of course. Let me. Oops, I forgot to share. Hang on. It is at number 8 on the Tripwire all-time greatest comics artist
Drum roll, please.
list is the great Will Eisner.
Oh,
I think Hungry Boy, that's a good one. I mean, that's a gooder. Because and I'm fortunate enough to have actually met him. What this man did for comics, I mean, not just with his great art, but creating books that taught people how to draw comics, called like the one Comics and
really?
Sequential Art. You wrote a book called Comics and Sequential Art, and many other instruction books. And I mean, and he was a great dude, and he wrote
He
one of
looks
the
like
most.
a cutie patootie.
He was a master of the craft. He started out on some of those older feature
Ooh,
comics.
these are old comics.
Oh yeah, so the old Eisner Studios.
My favorite, the super old stuff.
Love the old stuff, but they got to be. They better. I hope they have a problem picking the right stuff to show though too. I mean, I like this stuff. I want to see some. They did a character called the Spirit. I mean, why are you showing all this stuff? This is all good, but man, show some Spirit comics. Jesus, his layout and design has been copied so much. There's some Spirit right there.
Hungry Boy says, "Oh, okay, no problem. I'd put him at around number 6 to 3 myself."
Right, that's fair. But eight's still decent though. I'm not. My eyes are off the screen, so if you get anybody else. So look, they don't pick a lot of great examples of his work. This doesn't come near close to covering it.
Fanty is
Oh, look at
freaking
that.
out here. He says, "Where is Spirit?" And we know that he's
know.
also outraged at the choice because he used 3 question marks. So he's like, "Where is Spirit?"
I know. I don't understand. They don't pick the best examples. I mean, all that other stuff's okay. The Spirit defines him. They have one little Spirit shot. There's one. Again, they don't want to pick the. Again, look at this. This is a peer. It's a Spirit comic, and it was for a different character. You'd open up every page with I think I know why they're not showing some of them. Look at find some amazing way to put the word Spirit into his art on these opening pages, which are just beautiful. His panel arrangement, his storytelling techniques. He's one of the greatest cartoonists and storytellers who ever lived. And these dummies do not pick the right stuff to show.
Yeah.
Why did you not pick more Spirit stuff, you dumbasses? Holy shit.
Let's go look at some of them.
We're going to go look at some Spirit stuff because these idiots are morons at Tripwire. Jesus Christ, dudes. Are you crazy? I mean, look, he did some other stuff, but I mean, when it comes to Will Eisner,
Pleasant Valley Picker says, "I have some of the Spirit magazines. Incredibly awesome." And then he says, the folks that put this website together have missed the boat. They often miss the boat.
Yeah.
Sometimes they miss the whole planet.
It's some of the most incredible comic book art ever made, his work on the Spirit. And I have a sneaking suspicion, I'm not going to go into it here, why they didn't show some of it. Because some of it is from the 40s and some of it could be not
offensive to people now.
Some might say.
I got you.
I'm not saying it myself, mind you, because I don't give a crap. Here you go. This is one of my favorite drawings of his. I mean, he was mind-boggling. I love his opening pages. Look at this opening page right here of this building.
Okay.
The Spirit was an insert comic in newspapers. So it wasn't a newspaper strip per se. It was a comic originally.
Oh, okay.
And later there's magazines and stuff like that.
Oh, neat.
Oh, I'm okay. I thought I was showing it. I wasn't sharing it. My bad. Here we go.
It's okay, honey.
Damn it. All right, here we go. So here's some great stuff from Will Eisner. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Oh, wow.
But you see that page right there?
That page that you have that's big that's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Just his art was just extra. I mean, his panel arrangement, his storytelling techniques. I don't know what's being said in the chat right now, but oh man, these old Warren Spirit magazines. Good God.
Fanty says not showing a lot of Spirit for Eisner is like not showing Plastic Man for Jack Cole.
It's right. It's not. It's like, and it's also be similar to not showing any Fantastic Four or Thor for Kirby, or not showing any Batman or Green Lantern for Adams. It just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. And Hungry Boy wants you to know that you guys said the same thing at the same time about
Which one?
why some of his material was edited.
Oh, did he? Because
Yeah,
I can't
and
see the
then
chat.
I know, that's why I'm letting you know, sweetheart.
Yep.
And Pleasant Valley Picker says Eisner was a master.
He was. He's one, and I got to meet him twice actually. That was great. So, number 8 on the all-time list, the great Clobbering Times Hall of Famer Will Eisner, because he's in my Hall of Fame already.
No, nice.
I love these old wraparound covers.
Yeah, they are quite good.
Oh man,
they're quite beautiful.
He was such a great storyteller. And
oh well, I like
never
that.
Watched that. Never.
That's really nice.
Never watched that one. Oh yeah. Oh god, man.
Yeah.
Just never ever watched the 2005 movie. I never will. It's that disgusting. They made a
I would
movie in
never do
2005
that.
that's revolting.
I'm not even interested in that. That's ridiculous.
Good.
Yeah, and they always ruin stuff like that.
Of courseness. So anyway, that's our comics and movies segment of the night, folks. Now we have something way better for you because we have our wonderful first officer has something cool for you. Whoop. I'm sorry, I removed you first by accident.
That's okay. Stephen M says Eisner. Oh, where is it? Here it is. Stephen M. I'd love to get that wraparound cover as a poster myself. So that wraparound you pointed out, Stephen M. Kal-El, he just absolutely loved that. And I thought it was really nice too.
Will Eisner was just, and he ran, the Eisner Iger like studios of the 40s where they produced tons and tons and tons of comics, and he went on to teach. Like I said, he did a lot of these when they were actual real graphic novels. He also did a book called Comics and Sequential Art that is must read for anyone who wants to be a cartoonist, I think.
Well, so, can we look at that?
What?
That book.
I could try to pull it up. See.
Yeah, I think everybody would love to see it.
You got a segment for us.
Well, I do, but at the same time, like, this segment is incredibly important. And whenever you make a book recommendation, I like for everyone to see what you're talking about. You have some pretty terrific taste in some really, really nice books. So let's get that up and let's let everyone have a look at it, boss. You've already recommended 2 books to me, and I've enjoyed both of them thoroughly. Although I have to finish the science fiction film encyclopedia. I haven't finished it yet.
Okay, I have the standard cover, but that's one of the different covers.
Oh, this is nice.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hungry Boy has this book somewhere.
Oh, wow. Huh. I wonder if that's on archive.org. I wonder if we could look inside of it. Huh.
Ronnie
G is here. Hi.
Hey there. And Pleasant Valley, they did have Carl Barks, who was way, way, way toward the back of the list way back then. So what did you say about wanting to see something? I missed that.
Just wait 1 second, boss. I just want to go and check and see at archive.org, and see if they have this comics and sequential art. Hold on for 2 eggs of a dog's tail.
It's kind of thing that if you're studying cartooning, you should see, but it's nothing. It's other than that, it's about sequential storytelling at its finest. He's just one of the best.
We're going to check the internet.
Of course. Yeah. Of course, he says. So Hungry Boy, yep, I knew it. Ronnie says,
I have it, boss.
What?
Sweetheart, I have this.
What?
I'm going to send it to you on Twitter, and it is the link so that we can look inside of the book. Hold on. Go to your Twitter for 2 eggs of a dog's tail, boss, and I'll send it to you post haste. Where are you, Clubby? Hi, Clubby. Okay, I'm sending you the URL for the book, and we could actually open it up and show it to everyone. It has 196 pages. Oh, Gary's here. Gary Ambrosia.
Hey,
hi,
Gary Ambrosia. Oh,
and he sent you a gift.
You were too kind. You were too
Sweetheart.
kind. We're just going to get to your segment in a minute. We just showed enough from this because it would take too long to show all the stuff. It's not that. It's more for like a inside baseball type thing, really.
Oh, okay.
But when we get to your segment, because you got cool stuff for us there. But I want to say thank you to the great Gary Ambrosia. Hail to the clubhouse and clobber on. Clobber on to yourself, sir.
And I just want to say to all of the listeners out there that you can see comics and sequential art principles and practices from the legendary cartoonist by Will Eisner.
Yes.
At archive.org. So you just go to archive.org and type that name in, and they have the full book. It's very pretty.
I doubt any of the modern comic book artists even bother with it. And speaking of that, we did, even though we did it last night again, not to bring everything down, we started out talking about the crappy movie Wakanda Forever. That was a funeral. Well, we actually comics really did have two big losses, and I talked about them most last night. But just again, rest in peace, Kevin O'Neill, artist mostly known for his 2000 AD stuff. I love this work on Nemesis and Martial Law that he did later for Marvel, and of course Alan Moore's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He was a prolific and well-known British artist. And then just the day after, Carlos Pacheco, well-known, very talented, very prolific Marvel artist and DC artist, done some of the best work around over the past couple of decades. Unfortunately, tragically, just passed. I mean, again, it seems to happen in twos with the comic book artists. Sometimes we keep losing greats, and so yeah, as always, Clobbering Times shows the love and respect for the great comic book creators.
Yeah.
And Captain Finity. Yeah, Kevin O'Neill was interesting. I loved Nemesis. I don't know if you guys Nemesis the Warlock for what he did for 2000 AD. I loved Martial Law, although I feel guilty when I love it because it's so disgusting. But I loved it. It was filth beyond belief, and it was good filth. And of course, he was great on League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with Moore, and he was just a really good artist and an interesting, very crazy, strange style. We paid tribute to him last night a little bit, but I wanted to shout it out again tonight because I know Hungry Boy, I don't know if he knew any of these guys, but yeah, Nemesis was great, man. God, I love that comic. And his version of Nemesis, a couple of different comics that have been called Nemesis. And then again, Pacheco, I think I first saw his work on Avengers Forever with Busiek, and he's done a lot of stuff. Really good artist, did a lot of the big two. He did he did X-Men and Excalibur, and did a lot of stuff for DC also. Just top-notch artist, very well loved.
Boss, did either one of these guys, did either one of their families reach out on socials and say where people can donate or where people can pay their respects? Any word out there?
I don't know. They got to admit, it's not like with George Perez. I mean, they weren't quite in a class with him in terms of notoriety, but they were well known to the comics fans. So I don't know. They're definitely well known to the comics and comic circles. I do not know if there was anything like that, but I'm sure it could be. Like I said, if you go look for, it's possible. I just don't know if they.
I love it when we do that.
Presence.
Oh,
hey, Pod Racing Palpatine, what's up?
Hello. Yeah, well, I'm going to do what I always do, folks, and that is, as the non-comic book person who just loves your world, I'm going to tell you to, if you have any feelings for these artists, or you just want to pay your respects, I'm going to encourage you to go and have a look around on Twitter or Facebook or other social media. Maybe if there's an article that you're able to find, and you can find out where to donate that money, or donate some time, maybe instead of money, in honor of these two gentlemen. I definitely encourage you to do that. Not every family is going to be, welcome you with open arms like George Perez's family did for all of us. But I encourage you to reach out and to investigate that, because when you lose a family member, it could feel pretty great when the community just comes together to have a protective barrier around you and let you know that person was very special to a society and to the culture that they contributed to. So, yeah.
Pleasant. There may be a Facebook page. I don't know.
We don't know. Yeah,
possible. I know Kurt Busiek talked about it on his Facebook page. That's where I learned about Carlos Pacheco yesterday. That's where and then I learned about Kevin O'Neill just like the day before. This happened like in a couple of days. between each other there. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I just don't know, but I'm sure there could be something like that. But anyway, when the comics, since comics are so dead now as an art form, anytime it loses, the art form loses someone that was a definitely significant and well loved contributor to it, we always want to definitely pay our respects to them here. So
Yeah.
very
I
talented
remember the
artist.
way that George Perez's family responded to us. It was just like, we reached out with love, and they just reached out with love and hugs back, and let us know that 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 the fact that we cared, and that we showed that his life mattered, and that he was a deeply respected artist who we cared for as a person and as a professional. I know it meant a lot to George's family. So if anybody can track down those pages, or if you see anything out there, don't be afraid. I said that with George Perez. Don't be afraid to walk straight up to George Perez's family and say, what a wonderful man, and what a wonderful family you have. And thank you for these beautiful gifts for our culture. And boy, George Perez's family sure appreciated it. And I know he did too. So I'm sorry for your loss, big guy. I'm sorry, Clobby, and I'm sorry for your loss, everyone in the chat. I know that these artists are incredibly important to your childhoods, to your your understanding of story making, pretend, everything. Very formative people. So I'm sorry, everyone.
Well, rest in peace, gentlemen. Your work will live on. So
Yeah,
that's for sure.
yeah.
Let's see here. You've got some fun for us, of course.
I do have a bit of fun. Yeah.
We've Raquel's been busy this week, my friend. So I'm going to turn the floor over to our wonderful first officer, because Hungry Boy's been getting her into all kinds of trouble. It looks like
He has.
And I'm gonna, while you're doing that, by the way, I'm gonna go take medicine.
Okay,
So I'll
go
leave
ahead.
leave you the con. You've got control, don't you?
Okay, boss. Thanks.
You do have control, right?
I do. I
Okay.
have control.
You will control. Be right back.
Okay, so everyone, if you're new around here, this segment is dedicated to classic science fiction. And I do have a buddy. His name is Hungry Boy. That's his internet handle. But he is, of course, a comic book artist, professional comic book artist. And he knows a lot about fine art and a lot about science fiction. And he lives in Australia, and he is my late night film buddy. So he has some suggestions for me, and I always watch whatever he suggests. And then some things, because I'm a communications and technology scholar, some things are from aggregated data. So when all of the various machines in my house bring together all of the information that I, gleefully give to them, it populates films for me. And so we sort of measure up the algorithm against Hungry Boy. That's sort of what's shaping up, and it's a lot of fun. So tonight I have, for your first film, The Ghost of Sierra de Cobre. It's very hard for me to say that because I think of like macabre in French. Anyways, Sierra de Cobre. And this was recommended to me by Hungry Boy. And I'm just going to read a little bit about the film from Wikipedia, and I'll read about the plot. And please feel free to comment if you've seen this film, if you want to see this film. And here goes. The Ghost of Sierra de Cobre is a 1964 America made-for-television horror thriller film starring Martin Landau, Judith Anderson, and Diane Baker. It was written, produced, and directed by Joseph Stefano, author of the screenplay for Alfred Hitchcock's 1960s thriller Psycho. Boy, you can sure see the influence in that film. Everyone should know I don't do any research on these films, and I don't pre-read because Hungry Boy asked me not to. He's like, look, you got to step out of your academic self and not study these things as pop culture exemplars. I just want you to enjoy yourself. So I'm just finding this stuff out now.
Way to be, Hungry Boy. You teacher. Teacher new tricks.
That's right. The film was a pilot for a proposed supernatural anthology series for CBS called The Hunted. The series was not picked up after CBS president James T. Aubrey left, but some additional footage was filmed and it was released as a standalone film. So some rough writing there, but remember that Wikipedia is user-generated material. So sorry about the sort of rough read there and the rough prose. The plot is Nelson Orion, Martin Landau, is an architect by profession and paranormal investigator by choice. He is engaged by heiress Vivia Mandor, Diane Baker, who mistakenly thought herself free from the domination of her recently deceased mother-in-law. However, the old woman is determined to continue her controlling ways from beyond the grave. So Hungry Boy initially recommended this to me for Halloween, and I didn't get a chance to see it for the month of Halloween. But I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I don't know if you've seen it, Clubby. I don't know if anyone has
I
seen
have
it
not.
in the chat, but I gotta say, this
don't
is a
think so.
9 out of 10 for me. I'm not going to spoil it and give you too many details, but it is a very interesting film. It has some very unique ideas, and it is, you can definitely tell now that I've learned that George Stefano was author of the screenplay for Alfred Hitchcock's 1960s thriller Psycho. Wow, the filming elements of Psycho can definitely be seen here. This is no Psycho. This is a completely different type of story, and it's a very unique story, a very, very enjoyable story. But just the way it's filmed, you get that feeling. You get that feeling from it. So The Ghost of Sierra de Cobre from Hungry Boy, I give it a 9 out of 10. Very, very, very good film. Highly recommend.
Excellent. Hungry Boy strikes it again, knocks it out of that park.
He does. And then this film, I'll just pull this up here. Sorry, just pulling up the Wikipedia page. Okay, it's this one. Okay, so we talked about this on the Clubhouse, and Hungry Boy vetted it for me. He said, look, it's not going to have gore. It's not going to be super scary for you. You won't, be upset by this film. It's just that gothic horror that you enjoy. So go ahead. Yeah, you're going to have fun with this. And he's pretty good at vetting my taste. So I finally got to watch The Gorgon. And I'll read a little bit about the film from Wikipedia. The Gorgon is a 1964 British horror film directed by Terence Fisher for Hammer Films. It stars Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Richard Pascoe, and Barbara Shelley. And here's the plot. Oh, I can't read the plot. This is way too long. I'll just read the first paragraph. Central Europe, 1910. The village of Vandorf has suffered 7 horrific murders in 5 years. In each case, the unfortunate victim has been turned to stone. In the old mill house on the edge of the forest, Sasha Kass tells her artist boyfriend, Bruno Heitz, she is carrying his child. Wanting to stand up to his obligations, Bruno races off into the night to see Sasha's father, despite her pleas for him not to go. She races after him, but soon loses him in the dark forest. There, amongst the dark shadows, something catches her attention. She looks into the face of something hideous and screams. Raising her head once more, she looks upon the horror and screams again before dying. Upon examination of the body, Dr. Namarov, a local brain specialist at the Vandorf Medical Institution, discovers the body has turned to stone. Suspicion immediately falls onto Bruno, who is missing, but he is found hanged in the forest by a police search party. Okay, here's where the writing is really bad. He was not hanged by the police search party. That's just user-generated writing. So he's found hanged, and the cops find him. An incompetent inquest decides it is a case of murder and suicide, and Dr. Namarov doesn't reveal the condition of Cass's corpse. And that's all I'm going to read about the Gorgon. This is a terrific film. It's great fun. I had a great time with it, and I think I thought it was very well done. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10. So Hungry Boy cleared this one for me. He's like, look, this is neither divine nor disgusting. You will not be terrified. There's no gore. When they all told you to watch the Gorgon, it's good. It's good. And you were all right. It is good. The next one is something that the algorithm came up with for me. And I'll just put that on the screen after I figure out which one it is. Oh, here it is. A Pleasant Valley Picker. I have been receiving URLs from YouTube to watch these films. And I've also been watching them on Tubi. So they're free on Tubi. And you're Canadian, so I can definitely recommend you look them up on Tubi. But they're also on YouTube. So tubes. Just go to the tubes. The various tubes.
Oh, man. Wow. Richard Matheson, right?
This is The Last Man on Earth, 1964 film.
Yeah, it was remade later with Charlton Heston as the Omega Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay, so this one, I don't know anything about this film because I wanted to play ball with Hungry Boy. This one the algorithm sent me, and I thought it was very interesting. The second I saw Vincent Price and it said in color, I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. And so I will read you a little bit about the film from Wikipedia. The Last Man on Earth is a 1964 post-apocalyptic science fiction horror film. I agree with that genre, and boy, is it ever a good genre. It's almost like Edgar Allan Poe lived. I just love that science fiction gothic horror thing. Anyways, based on the 1954 novel I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. I'm going to get this book. Okay, I'm just
so
reading.
By the way, Hungry says this one's better than the Omega Man. I can believe that. I haven't seen this one since Dr. Shock days. Then, of course, Will Smith remade them both. Did it too. So
I don't see that idiot's movies. So anyway, that guy's a complete idiot. Anyways, so I'm going to get that book. The film was produced by Robert L. Lippert and directed by, Ragona and Sidney Sakal, and stars Vincent Price and Bianca Bitoya. The screenplay was written in part by Matheson, but he was dissatisfied with the results and chose to be credited, under a nom de plume, Logan Swanson, William Lester Furo M. Monati, and a whole bunch of names that I can't pronounce. It's just a lot of Italians, and it's just a lot of Italians. You can tell that this is an Italian film. It's filmed as an Italian film. The Last Man on Earth was filmed in Rome. Yes, I'm right. With scenes being completed at the Universal Roma. It was released in the United States by American International Pictures. In the 1980s, the film entered the public domain. MGM Home Video, the current owners of the AIP film catalog, released a digitally remastered widescreen version of the film on DVD in September 2005. And I'll just read a little bit of the plot. My goodness, these user-generated people. 5 paragraphs, single-spaced. Yowza. I'm just going to read the first one. It is 1968, and Dr. Robert Morgan lives in a world where everyone else has been infected by a plague that has turned them into undead, vampiric creatures that cannot stand sunlight, fear mirrors, and are repelled by garlic. They would kill Morgan if they could, but they are weak and unintelligent. Every day, Morgan carries out the same routine. He wakes up, marks another day on the calendar, gathers his weapons, and then goes hunting for vampires, killing as many as he can, and then burning the bodies to prevent them from coming back. At night, he locks himself inside of his house. And I'm just going to read that first paragraph. You need to know what people that have not seen this film need to know is this is the science fiction version of vampires. So if you took away the gothic horror and you decided to turn it into a science fiction film, that's what this does. So for me, I find it absolutely delightful. There are some mistakes in filming. There are some filming errors about daylight and nighttime and some positions of the bodies. And you'll notice that right away if you're into details like I am. But to see vampires in a completely scientific way and with a scientific reason that is 100% plausible is amazing. Also, you will not believe the ending. The ending is it is 100% science fiction. It's not horror, it's not gothic horror. It is 100% science fiction, and it is not the ending you will expect. I would give this film a 10 out of 10 if it weren't for those filming errors where you're like, hey, the body was in the other direction before, or hey, why are they looking why are they squinting from the sun when it's nighttime? So there are some errors like that happening. But other than that, I give The Last Man on Earth a 9 out of 10.
Hey there, Darius. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Darius Munchausen. Hey, sweetheart.
Good to see you, man. Wow. It's so long since I've seen this thing. It's been a long time since I've seen the Heston one, which I've seen more than this. But even that's been a good while. So, and you'll be happy to know I've never seen the Will Smith one either. Not that I ever would, but yeah.
Yeah, don't go see that idiot's movies.
I have gone to see some of his movies, but I didn't go see that one and won't watch it. I'm not really interested in that one. But yeah, I mean, look, I love Charlton Heston, but I love Vincent Price. So out of the two, I'd watch them both and should. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never watched the Charlton Heston one. I've only watched this one, and obviously the algorithm figured it out that I would like it. And wow, this is one of the very few times where the algorithm got it right. This film is sensational. This film is so good. And as a person who loves Bram Stoker and a person who loves H.P. Lovecraft and a person who likes Bronte and these types of books, it is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Mary Shelley. It's wonderful to see Gothic horror turned into science fiction. It's so good. It's so good. I love it.
That was an abomination. So don't watch the Will Smith one. I think it's the general.
Yeah, you don't need to watch that nincompoop. Guy's a complete idiot.
Yeah, no argument there.
Yeah. So, Boss Man, I will watch the Charlton Heston one, but I have to tell you that I've never seen Vincent Price like this before. It blew me away.
He's one of the greats.
Yeah, I've never seen him play this kind of a character before, and his character is just remarkable. He's romantic and kind and lonely, and very normal, and he's tall and handsome, and what happens to him is just, it's awful. I cannot believe that this happens to him. And
okay,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say my favorite Charlton Heston performance is also in a science fiction film, and he's not mostly known for horror ones. So there you go.
Yeah, which one is that?
Have you ever seen Master of the World? Oh my goodness! You must see Master of the World. It's one of the greatest, based on Jules Verne stories. It's the same name, with Vincent Price, Charles Bronson, 1960. One of my all-time favorite movies.
Okay, well, I haven't read the book, so I'll read the book first, and then I'll watch the film.
Robert the Conqueror and Master of the World. I think there was Robert the Conqueror, then Master of the World. I'm not sure which order. I know others here have seen. I know others have watched the movie and read the books, but you can just watch the movie. Or either way, I love the movie. Vincent Price is fantastic as Robert. Anyone else like that movie? Here. Trevor Cunningham. Hey there. There's a graphic novel adaptation of the novel I Am Legend floating out there. That's true to the novel. Was that one of the DC? graphic novel adaptations of the 80s, or did someone else do that, Trevor? Trevor, I'm drawing a blank on it. Nemo of the Sky, Clobby is master of the world. Yes, it is Nemo. He's Nemo. It's basically, Vern was kind of repeating himself. It was Captain Nemo. It was just Captain Nemo of the Sky.
Well, you know how I feel about Captain Nemo. He's like my childhood hero.
Right. Robert's not exactly a copy of Captain Nemo himself, but the story is very similar to the Captain Nemo story, but I love it anyway. You know, I before I'd ever read the book, for some reason on cable back in the 70s and 80s, you used to show it all the time, Master of the World. What do you think of that movie, by the way, Hungry Boy? Do you like that one? I adore it. And of course, you don't get much cooler than Vincent Price and Charles Bronson. I mean, that's just, Charles Bronson's fantastic. You know,
Hungry Boy says that's the kind of role Vincent Price was allowed to play in the 30s and 40s, Raquel, before he did House of Wax and got typecast in the USA. What a shame, because he is very gentlemanly and I dare say attractive. I would find him attractive, but of course, you know, I have odd taste. I find it difficult to be attracted to these meathead jocks that are on the screen that people like. I'm more of a Leonard Nimoy girl myself. Like, if you have to name somebody who I like on TV, that I think he's rather handsome. But I do have to say that I found Vincent Price very gentlemanly and very attractive in this movie. I thought he was quite wonderful, and you are very invested in what's happening to him because of the way that he plays this role, and really, really good. And like I said, I cannot say it enough on this broadcast. Watching someone take Gothic horror and make it pure science fiction is so cool to me, because it's like, oh, you see Mary Shelley and you're like, I got your back, Mary Shelley. We're going to do this in reverse. It's so good. So good. So good.
Nice. Yes, it looks like my friends there, they also like Master of the World. Yeah, that's what. Now I want to go find it and watch it. I don't think I have an old burnt copy. I don't think I have the DVD. I need to try to get the Blu-ray of that and just watch it again. I love it. But
well, I'll cover it next week. I'll watch it. If hopefully I'll be able to find it. But I should be able to find it, and if I can't, my film buddy in Oz, my late night film buddy, will help me find it. Hungry Boy. Hungry Boy started off as somebody who just read my stuff and hung out with Clobby and was this comic book expert. And then he donated a painting for the front of my book. And then we started hanging out. And then I realized, oh my God, this guy is such a good friend of mine. He's so wonderful. We have so much in common. And now he's my film buddy. He's
one of us.
He is.
He's one of the gang here. But yes, let's see. So those were, wow, you went for those 5 pretty quick. You could have burned up 10 of those this week. Pace yourself though. You know, I
will. I have 2 more.
You know. Oh, you have 2 more. Cool. We'll go for them.
I do, Bus. So this one I got from Hungry Boy.
I'm sorry. I thought you were. Yep. Atomic Submarine. We all live in an atomic submarine.
Yeah. And so now I'll just read for you all. And like I said, Hungry Boy has told me to shut off academia, no research. So I'm just discovering this information with you. So bear with me as I read from Wikipedia, which isn't always well-wrought prose. So stick with me, folks. The Atomic Submarine is a 1959 independently made American black and white science fiction film. It is directed by Spencer Gordon Bennett and starring Arthur France, Dick Ferran, Brett Halsey, Joy Lansing, and Gene Moorhead, with John Hillard as the voice of the alien. The film was produced by Alex Gordon and distributed by Allied Artists Pictures Corporation. The storyline of Atomic Submarine concerns an alien invasion that begins when an underwater UFO or USO, unidentified submerged object, attacks the world's shipping for unknown reasons. The film showcases the then new technology of nuclear submarines and follows the crew and scientists aboard the atomic-powered USS Tiger Shark, which has been ordered to hunt down the mysterious underwater saucer and stop its disruption of sea commerce. And I will read the first paragraph of the plot. A submarine is destroyed near the North Pole by a mysterious undersea light. The loss of this and several other ships in the Arctic alarms the world. Governments temporarily close the pole route and convene an emergency meeting at the Pentagon. Present is Commander Dan Wendover, Dick Ferran, and captain of the atomic submarine Tiger Shark, and Nobel Prize winning scientist Sir Ian Hunt, played by Tom Conway. The United States Secretary of Defense, played by Jack Mulhan, leads the meeting. He explains all that is known about the Arctic disasters and then describes the high-tech capabilities of Tiger Shark. These include a special hull and a mini-sub called the Lungfish that can be stored inside the submarine. The secretary finishes by telling Wendover that he has to take Hunt, Tiger Shark, and the crew to resolve the ship sinkings and, if possible, eliminate the cause. Okay, I am going to highly recommend The Atomic Submarine. I found this film to be a little slow moving, but the reason it is slow moving is because it's very academic and very cerebral. So you heard in this Wikipedia article that they were talking about how this film was showcasing the new technology of nuclear submarines. I knew that immediately while I was watching it. I could see that socio-historical context and them reaching toward the future to sort of show you and do it in a way where they wouldn't get in trouble or reveal any type of U.S. secrets. Not that they would be privy to that, but you know what I mean. It's like you could feel that this was the best of America's technology at the time. Also, a little bit of prognostication, wondering what the future was going to be like and how that technology would advance, and then mixing it in with this invasion story. And the creature, the alien, is absolutely disgusting, and what transpires with it is unbelievable. It's rather gross. It's a little violent, but not too violent. This is a great film. It's just great fun. If you like war movies, if you like technology like I do, if you're into social studies, and you all know that, that's eventually how I want to finish my PhD. This is social studies. It's just so much fun. And watching it with the son of someone who was in the Navy and who used to do the electrical on nuclear submarines made it even more delightful. My husband thought that this was great fun, and it was cool to see what his father's environment on these subs. Of course, obviously, very the first versions, but super fun. Another shock ending, and you will be surprised. You'll be a little grossed out and a little relieved. But I give
nice poster, by the way.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous poster. I give The Atomic Submarine an 8 out of 10.
Nice. Yeah.
Don't
think I've heard of this one, and I don't recognize any of the names of the cast either.
It's really cool. Like,
what year was that?
1959.
Okay. That was a very good year. I was busy though. I was busy not existing.
But you would love this if you really like the war films, science, history, social studies. That's what this is all about. This is really great science fiction. And you just imagine in 1959 going to the theater, seeing this up on the big screen in celluloid and saying to yourselves, oh my goodness, this is where this technology is taking us. And it is very sciencey and it's a lot of social studies, and it's great fun. It's really beautiful. I think they capture the idea of how tight it is to be on an atomic submarine, which is one of the reasons why I love Enterprise so much. It captures that that new technology being tight and small and close quarters and and dangerous. So and cool, and really cool to see people smoking, because that's the generation I grew up in, and here they are smoking on a submarine. And my husband and I, we started talking. We were like, you know, Dad smoked.
Smoking on a submarine.
Like
Yeah.
he smoked and he did electrical on nuclear submarines. Like you just imagine to yourself how many of those guys were smoking and what was the protocol? I don't know. Unfortunately, his father has passed away. So I can't ask him, but these are things that as we move forward, they become these intriguing situations, these bizarre scenarios that we just
Right.
that we
Everybody
found
smoked.
ourselves in.
Yeah, everybody smoked back then. So
Yeah, exactly.
So this is like a normal type sub, though. It's not like the Sea View or anything, is it?
No, this is an actual military
Right, gotcha.
submarine. So it is exploring the technology of the day. So in 1959, this is what the submarines looked like, and it beautiful practical effects and just great fun. And the spaceship is just mwah, chef's kiss. It's gorgeous. And you know how there's a dome at the top of your typical garden variety flying saucers?
Right.
This gives a reason for it, and I'm not going to say what the reason is because I don't want to spoil it, but it's very cool. You're like, ha!
They didn't reuse the old C-57D for this one?
I don't know. I don't even know what that is.
It's Forbidden Planet ship.
Oh yeah. Oh, no, I don't know if they did or if they didn't.
It did get reused a lot in some movies. That's what I was saying.
Yes, actually, that's true, isn't it? I actually knew that. Just
it got used on Twilight Zone too.
Yes, you're correct, and I do recall that. Just stream brain, just
No
a
problem.
big dummy right now.
It looks cool though.
Yeah,
I like the poster.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend it.
It was a new saucer, says Hungry Boy. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so very cool, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. And just highly recommend The Atomic Submarine. This is a popcorn movie that you will absolutely love. Make sure you get some M&Ms, some super buttery popcorn, maybe some cherry Coke. And just, get comfortable and watch this wonderful movie. You're going to have so much fun with it. But remember what I said. It does move slowly at first, but it is because this is science-based. It is trying to capture the magic and the mystery of the technology at work at the time. And this whole idea of nuclear warheads and nuclear submarines, very scary, and looking at scientific possibilities. So lots and lots of fun.
Well, there you go. You can't be slower than the movie I just suffered through. So.
But when it picks up, it really picks up. And that was something that my husband also said. He was like, when it picked up, whew, you got whiplash from it.
There you go. Well, 6 out of 7 Hornets for Hungry Boy on that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. For me, I'm going back and forth between 8 out of 10 and 9 out of 10. I'm going back and forth on that. It is a slow start, but you all know how I feel when something is cerebral and it tries to be something good. Like it tries to edify. It tries to tickle that part of your brain that makes you more critical. It makes you think and involves you in history or involves you in social studies. You guys know I like that. So I forgive films that are slow when they're trying to do that. But when it picks up, picks up.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay. And so last and definitely least, we have something that the algorithm aggregated for me. Aggregated. Alligated.
Must be really aggregated by that.
The alligator people. And so I will read a little bit from Wikipedia, and you can let me know if you've watched this, and if you have, I'm so sorry about your luck.
Is there a theme? Is the same song to this one? See you later, alligator.
In a wild crocodile. Okay, here we go. The Alligator People is a 1959 CinemaScope science fiction horror film directed by Roy Del Ruth. It stars Beverly Garland, wow, she's pretty, Bruce
Yes.
Bennett, and Lon
Oh,
Chanley Jr.
poor
This
Lon.
this
Very good.
film was the penultimate feature directed by Del Ruth and quite different from those of his days at Warner Brothers. This film was theatrically distributed by 20th Century Fox on a double bill with Return of the Fly. Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, they had a lot of double bills back then. Didn't mean it was the same. They were connected films.
Yeah, but you know what? I miss double bills.
Oh, yeah.
I miss double bills. Like, double
yeah.
bills were so much fun.
Oh,
And
those were
triple
good
bills
days.
at the drive-in.
Yep.
Oh, Chris Persia says he has to go. He says, have a great
All right,
night,
Chris
gang. Time for
Persia.
me to count sellets.
All right, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Have a
Love
good one.
you. Good night, honey. Okay, so I'm just going to read a couple of paragraphs because they're quite short here on the plot from Wikipedia. After being administered the drug sodium pentothal by 2 psychiatrists, amnesiac nurse Jane Marvin recalls a series of events from her repressed memories when she was known as Joyce Webster. In the flashbacks, we see Joyce after marrying a young man named Paul Webster. Aboard their honeymoon train, Paul receives a telegram and leaves in a panic to make a phone call. When the train pulls out, Paul is missing, having vanished without a word. What a bad guy he is. Throughout the following months, Joyce employs private detectives and searches for her husband. She eventually finds a lead, the address of the cypresses plantation that Paul entered on his college enrollment forms. Joyce travels to the desolate town of Bayou Landing, Louisiana. There, I was thinking of you immediately, Clobby. There,
By the way, there's
meets...
no such place, just letting you know. But
Okay. There she meets Manon, a handyman at the cypresses, and convinces him to drive her to the plantation. Joyce then introduces herself to Lavina Hawthorne, the cypress's stern mistress. When Joyce suggests that Paul once lived there, Lavina calls her a liar and tries to have her thrown out. However, after learning that Joyce has missed the train back to town, Lavina reluctantly invites her to stay the night under the proviso that she must not leave her room. And so that's all I'm going to read about Alligator People. That's all news to me. I will say that Alligator People is something that you should watch because I do think you should watch all 1940s, 50s, and 60s films. That's just who I am, especially if they're science fiction. You might think I'm a big loser, everyone, but that's who I am. But I will warn you. This one's a stinker McPoopy pants. I only give it a 6 out of 10, and I describe it on my little sticky note. Yeah, it's a 6 out of 10. Well, because it's science fiction and it's 1959. And of course it gets a pass from me then, right? Because I look at everything today and I'm like, oh,
I got you. No problem.
This is effing garbage. Anyhow, if you watch Alligator People, I want you to know it is a mashup of 2 films. Those 2 films being Swamp Thing and Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, I can see the similarities. They're being like carbon copies. I mean, the director said, look, all right, you guys, here, I want to go for a feel of Gone with the Wind and then Swamp Thing, that movie that will come out into the future. You'll have to go into the future to see it and come back.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we can recapture that.
Yeah.
Because remember all those scenes in Gone with the Wind with the alligators and the swamp parts? Let's do that.
But it has all the melodrama. Like you expect someone to come down wearing curtains, maybe not like, Carol Burnett style, but you expect like, somebody to get slapped across the face. It's very melodramatic. It's very Gone with the Wind. But then it's like he goes total Swamp Thing. Like I'm telling you, total Swamp Thing.
Yes.
And it's pretty funny. Like it's just hysterical. Like when you watch it, that's all you think of. You're like, it's like Gone with the Wind and Swamp Thing had a baby, and it's terrible and wonderful all at the same time.
I'm definitely seeing the Swamp Thing vibe. I hear you, even though the character was created much later. But yeah, I hear you.
You got to see, like, you have to see the plantation house, the way everybody's acting, the way they're all walking around like they're highfalutin, hoity-toity. It's just so much fun. This one, you got to call DoorDash or whatever it is you call it in the United States, where you just order greasy cheeseburgers, get those greasy cheeseburgers, get some chips, get in front of the TV and watch this and be prepared to just laugh your ass off. Yeah, that is the alligator people. And that's all I have for you this week, folks. I hope you enjoyed.
I saw this on Doc Shock back in the 70s and then maybe a little bit later. And I felt bad for Lon Chaney.
Yeah.
It's a monster movie, Clobby. It's that more than it's that more than sci-fi. Oh yeah, no, look, I hear you. It's a monster.
Yeah.
I've seen it a long time ago, but I've seen recent later pictures of it. I especially love the big alligator head mask thingy he wears.
Yes, but that only happens at the very end.
Yes, JD Lewis, I do believe it got the MST3K treatment.
Dave G.
I think it did.
Back when you could make a movie named Attack of the Giant Bug, Dave G. Sound, what you have just described is that's my soft place to land. That's the beautiful place. I think that's the gorgeous place. That's like when my husband, who doesn't even like science fiction, is laying in bed and he turns and looks at the TV when I'm watching it. And I'm like, I thought you didn't like science fiction. And he always says things like this. Yeah, but the dialogue is so good. It's so strange and so honest. I have to look up and see what's on the screen.
Okay, Hungerbuck could have swore they did it, but if you say they didn't, I trust you. They did do Teenage Werewolf. Well, that's good. Yeah. I could have swore they did alligator people. There you go. Maybe I'm just thinking of something else. But I believe you, but I'm not doubting you one bit at all.
He doesn't go full Gorn until after the weird ultrasonic treatment he receives. Right. But prior to that, so he's like stomping around, and it's a little bit like Beauty and the Beast, but not really. It's really Swamp Thing mixed with Gone with the Wind.
Would you like Would you like to be that actress walking around filming a movie in the swamp like that?
Oh, it was actually really scary. I thought that it was really frightening. You could tell they were actually in Louisiana. They were actually in the swamps where normal people from Louisiana would not be caught dead. And they were filming there.
Some do. Some go there. But some into the swamps. But I mean,
even the snakes, like, there's no way I would have filmed there.
I don't know where they filmed this, though. They may not have filmed it in Louisiana. There are other places.
Let me check.
There are other places with swamps, but I mean, we are called the Bayou State, but that doesn't mean anything. Not that they haven't filmed. They made a lot of movies down here. I'm just saying they made that last terrible, which people like, but I thought it was terrible. That last Swamp Thing TV show from a couple years back. They made that in North Carolina, but it was set in Louisiana. And I was looking at stuff going, none of this is in Louisiana, you guys, and none of these you keep it. And I'm pretty sure what they called it, something landing again, Bayou Landing or something. Did they say? There's no such thing.
It says that it was written by Orville H. Hampton, who is also known for Dave G. Sound. Are you listening, sweetheart? Please listen, honey. This is where my heart goes pitter-patter and I feel happy. So this man was also known for The Snake Woman, Jack the Giant Killer, and One Potato, Two Potato.
Wow. Jack the Giant Killer, I think, did get an MST3K treatment, if I remember right, but not sure if the Snake Woman did. But yeah, okay, there you go. Wow.
Dave G sounds like yes.
So you that scares you to walk around in the swamp like that making a movie? Come on now.
Yes.
You're saying you're going to come down here and you're not going to go for a walk in the swamp?
I'm not going to go for a walk in the swamp.
Yes, you are.
No, you have water moccasins. I'm terrified of water moccasins.
Oh, sure. Be mean to the snakes now.
But they'll kill you.
No, they're nice as long as you don't insult them. They're fine.
No,
I'm just kidding. But they have a swamp tour here, though. I mean, go on the swamp.
Well, we'll go on a swamp tour together.
You're gonna be on the boat, yeah.
And maybe I'll eat some alligator while I'm down there.
People do eat that, but no. Well, you be my guest. I'm not doing it. I can
go up on your shoulders if you want to go in the swamp. I'll go up on your shoulders.
No. You're the one we're gonna film you getting chased by the alligator guy. You get to be the lady being chased by the alligator. Well, I'll even get the alligator mask. We'll film it for everybody. That'll be your cosplay.
You know what's really crazy, boss, is that a couple of those alligators were real. Did you notice that they used the smaller, like?
Well, they'd probably use some stock footage, don't you think?
Well, no, there is a point where she runs through the swamp and there are two alligators behind her and they're babies. Like they're not very big and they're sort of together and they actually look frightened. It's like they just the handler just came over and like plopped them down in the middle of the scene and then got the hell out of Dodge so they could film. But she hightails it right out from underneath them and comes forward over a branch. But some of them were you could tell they were animatronic. But there were a couple in there that were real, and I was like, yeah, even baby ones, I'll pass.
Even where my mom and dad used to live in their house about 17 years ago before they moved away, and then out in a place not too far from New Orleans. They used to, and it was a nice neighborhood, but they lived near. There were some woods behind it. They used to get alligators in their backyard all the time, and in their driveway even.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I know that I always mix up whether or not they're alligators or crocodiles, because I always mix up.
Alligators are here. Crocodiles are in the other side of the world, aren't they?
But I forget which family they're in. What are they called? Are they called the caiman? But in Mexico,
I don't know.
Wherever we go, we wake up and they're everywhere. They're huge and they're everywhere, especially on the golf courses. You see them and you're like, that's a nope. I leave immediately.
Alligators never hurt anybody. What you talking about?
They're huge and scary, and I'm good. I'll pass.
No, I'm just kidding. Like I'm going to mess with them. No, I don't like them either. But like I say, it wasn't uncommon to have them walk up into the backyard. Walk into the driveway sometimes off the, walking around the golf courses.
Scary.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes. Well, that's what the swamps are for. I've never even been on any of the stupid swamp tours, but they have them. You can go, on the boat and stuff.
Yeah.
Tourists seem to like them.
Yeah.
But see, it was the longest time. It seemed if anytime you would go up north anywhere, if you would tell somebody you were from Louisiana, they would assume that we all live in swamps like you see in these movies and stuff, because in all the movies and all the TV, that's what it looked. That's what they showed. They thought we'd go to work in boats and stuff. They didn't know we had concrete. I mean, because every time you see it portrayed in movies back then, especially, it was. Clobby, Ezra says, Clobby, are there alligators in your neck? Not right where I am, but they're not too far. And they got a lot of areas.
You wouldn't have to walk very far to encounter an alligator.
Well, I would in my case, but where my parents were, that was that neighborhood was kind of an outlier. So they ended up developing all that land behind where they used to live, and now it's not. But it was any wooded area. But I can tell you this: when I drive on the very, very big, very busy interstate two from where I live to New Orleans, it's not uncommon to see an alligator on the side of the road, or a deer for that matter. So, and sometimes I remember not too long ago that we saw there was a dead alligator on the side of the road. It stays there like 5 days before somebody moved it.
Yeah.
And a deer at night all the time, we get deers right on the interstate as well.
Yeah.
You can see them all the time. So
the thing that frightens me too, though, are the water moccasins.
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, they're out there. They exist. That's for sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't want, like when she steps down into the bayou and she's in the swamp. And she gets waist deep. She's only in there for a few seconds. You could tell that they very cleverly edited it, but I wouldn't be in there. Are you kidding?
They paid her the big bucks to be in there.
They must have.
They had a bunch of, I'm sure, wherever they were, local yokels who know that kind of crap that were taking care of stuff that were, around them and making it, I don't know, Beverly Garland. Ooh, man, she was cute.
Yeah, she's very, very beautiful. And there is a point in the film where it's like, this is Beauty and the Beast. And it's quite delightful, but it's Swamp Thing and Gone with the Wind. 100%. You get that vibe from it. You're like, it's funny.
Indeed, Stephen. Yeah, it's like that. I remember remember that show, The Fall Guy, with Lee Majors back in the 80s. They had an episode one time that took place in Louisiana, and it was all about they were on the typical like all the swamp boats. It was supposed they were having a chase through the swamp and all this other kind of stuff. And we're sitting there, I remember, and somebody said, "Yeah, they took off and they went down the Cajun Trail." And I was like, "What the hell is the Cajun Trail? There's no such thing. Who made that up?
Yeah.
You idiots from Hollywood made it up. I bet you didn't even film that here. There's no such thing as the Cajun Trail, jerk."
Yeah.
It was, oh man, I don't know.
JT Kirk says, in his part of North America, the government denies the existence of cougars, and hunters see them frequently on prey cameras. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm in Alberta, and so I'm very close to the mountain parks. So Jasper and Banff, and yeah, we have a lot of wildlife here. You don't want to be out walking in certain areas in Jasper and Banff, and definitely not at night. Wolves, coyotes, bears, cougars, lynx.
Oh my.
We have everything up here. And so
Right.
it's funny because when my friends from Australia come up here, we always talk about their crazy snakes and their crazy spiders, and
That
how
scares me more than our stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and then they're like, "Yeah, but are you kidding? Well, like when you drive through a town, you can see bears." It's just like,
That's
yeah.
scary.
Yeah, and Alberta is quite unique too, because if you go to the very far north and you just cross and you go up into the Northwest Territories, there are polar bears. So, and they will maul you to death. They're huge. They're huge animals. So yeah.
I gotta say, this poster, I can't agree with it though. It says nerve-shattering terror. No, you're kind of just laughing at the stupid mask, really. That the alligator.
I think they just should have
Glad.
kept it with the
If I recall
makeup.
correctly. I think we should look at some pictures from the alligator people.
Okay. I just
me
wish that they would have
find that.
stuck with the makeup, because when they stuck with the makeup, you were thinking to yourself, okay, so this is like Beauty and the Beast. This is like, like an old legend, the story that human beings have been telling since, time immemorial, Beauty and the Beast. And
Beauty and the Beast.
yeah,
Let's see here. Oh, good Lord.
but they don't. Oh, JD Lewis has to go. He says, "Great show tonight, guys. Headed to bed now. Good night, friends. See you Saturday."
JD, have a good one. Thank you,
Good
sir.
night, sweetheart. Yeah, Pleasant
look at
Valley
some-
Picker, he says that he had a bear wander into town. Yeah, we have moose walking up and down our street. Deer, deer kill a lot of people. You don't want to mess with the deer. And we have a lot of coyotes where I'm at, and foxes. But yeah, it doesn't take very long of a drive for me to get where you don't get out of the car. You don't,
Right.
unless you're an idiot, you don't get out of the car.
Yes. There's the alligator people. Hi there. My name's Allie. Allie. My name's Al. E. Gator. How you doing? Don't judge me because of my beak. I'm people too, damn it. I'm alligator people too, that is. Har, har, har. Excuse my alligator humor. Har, 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 har. I like how they have this alligator strapped down with the beam on him.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how they're trying to develop a cure. But see him with the makeup? Like, he
Right.
looks so great with the makeup. I
Wait.
just wish they would have left it like that. But when
Are they
he
trying
go,
to
when
cure
they
the
go,
alligator of being an alligator?
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
But when he goes full Gorn,
Yeah. I'm alligator people, not the join. Let's see here.
Pod
Yes.
Racing Palpatine, it's Proto Gorn.
Oh boy, Beverly Garvin though.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Trevor Cunningham says, "I've seen that alligator man picture since the beginning of time. Never saw the movie."
Oh,
Oh, so you've
got a
seen the
toy.
picture
They got
on
a-
the internet,
They got a
but
figure.
you've never seen the movie? You have to see the movie. It is absolutely ridiculous.
I want to see Beverly.
It's a greasy cheeseburger movie. Trevor Cunningham, grab yourself a beer. If you don't like beer, you could grab a pop. I guess in the United States, you guys call it soda. Here we call it pop.
Oh, I call it cherry Coke.
Look at that.
Like that. What?
Like I love that. I love that makeup. I just wish they would have left him that.
Yeah. Instead of him with the big head, big thingy.
Yeah. That's when he fully transforms and you're just like, why did you wreck it?
Wow, it's on Blu-ray? That's got to be a joke. It's on Blu-ray, dudes. Yeah, there's the makeup right there.
Hungry Boy says it was also in Famous Monsters magazine.
Oh, yeah,
Famous Monsters. See, look at that makeup. That's good makeup.
I think that's the first time I saw a picture of it was in Famous Monsters of Filmland. One of the great magazines by the great Forrest J. Ackerman, Mr. Science Fiction. Wow. So there you go. That's the alligator people. Mm-hmm. Alligators are people too, folks.
Well, I'm definitely going to be prepping Master of the World for next week. And good. I'm definitely going to be looking at some suggestions from Hungry Boy. But I'm also going to see, instead of using the algorithm, I'm going to check and see.
I got to find Master of the World.
That book that you recommended that I ordered, and it came from
Which one?
I don't know, some small town in northern Scotland.
Yes. His pictorial history of science fiction films.
Yeah, because there were some in there where like Hungry Boy was freaking out. He's like, "Oh, you'd love that one." So there are some that I want to see because of the practical effects. Unpleasant Belly Picker says. Sorry, go ahead, honey.
But I was just saying, I want to find that and watch it again. Good.
Yes, it's good. Pleasant Valley Picker says Famous Monsters was great. Forrest Ackerman, rest in peace.
Are you familiar with the great Forrest J. Ackerman?
No, honey, I don't know who
they call him Mr. Science Fiction. He's the one that started the first science fiction convention.
Oh,
and
really?
He's the one that collected all those great props and stuff. I had the pleasure of meeting him one time, and once, and he was really nice, by the way. Pleasant Valley, but yes, he's a legend. He did a mag called Famous Monsters of Filmland. He's the one that has, you name the prop, the time machine or whatever from every classic movie ever. He has them all, had them all. Let's see. Show some. And I love this magazine. This was the mag to buy in the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Are you bringing it up? That's great.
Oh man, Famous Monsters was the best.
Well, looks like I'm going to have another thing to buy.
Nah, it's just a magazine. Yeah, good luck getting your hands on these. But
they're highly collectible, hey?
Well, yeah, I think the old ones are anyway. Look,
that is a very scary face. I'm not going to lie. Oh, that's a nice one.
This is a later one there. A later one there.
Some of these are
some of the later issues with some throwback covers. Yeah, well, it was. Now again, after a while, there's Forey on the cover. After a while, they started doing a lot of science fiction stuff as well, mixing it in with it. Like there's an old issue right there. But eventually they'd even cover stuff like, Star Wars and Star Trek and different things like that. I had this damn cover. I had this one at some point. Now, Claude has a bunch of these. Of course.
Minimus.
Yeah. These covers, though, yeah. I love Famous Monsters.
Looks like a ton of fun.
Oh, let's look at Forrest Ackerman's collection. You want to see something that's unreal. Let's see here. Let's see. Forrest Ackerman's. I bet I could find it by doing it like that.
Hungry Boy says, I bet the collectible figure costs more than the film budget. You are correct. I would guess that as well.
Let's see. Forrest Ackerman. What if I just put his name? That'll be enough. Yes. Yeah. This man was incredible. He is the god of science fiction. He's the one that gave us the science fiction convention.
Oh, Dave G. Sound has to go to sleep.
Collecting collectibles.
Sorry, boss.
All right,
I'm
Dave G,
sorry to
have a good
interrupt.
one, buddy.
Yeah. Good night, Dave G Sound, honey. I hope that your shoulder is feeling better. And thank you so much for joining us. Mwah!
Look, he has the original robot from Metropolis.
I see
Ray
that.
gun. He had it all. Ford was
Lucky. Lucky.
he gave us. I mean, he kind of revolutionized being a geek. I mean, he's the one that started it all, like collecting stuff, and he started the first worked with the first cons and stuff, and he was the ultimate science fiction geek.
Nice.
Holton, is that Holton? Am I saying that right? Holton. And good
Oh
to
my
see
God,
you,
there's
Holton. Welcome.
Peter
We have not seen you
Jackson.
before. Oh yeah, I mean,
Hi,
look,
Holton.
that of course. I mean, Peter Jackson. All of them had, Peter Jackson utilized his Uncle Foray. Everyone loved him. He was just look at all it. I mean, this is nothing. I wish I could find that museum or that, like his collection. We should put collections. See if they have a.
Oh, thanks,
But he had
Holden. That's my I did that cosplay for Clobby. That is my tribute to Julie Newmar's Catwoman.
it's amazing. Man, he just has so much. I guess he can. I forgot what all the pictures of. No, well, had a lot of stuff though. Let's put it like that. He had it all. I mean, it's just
Cool.
anyway. So, yeah, Mr. Science Fiction. They call him rightly so.
Very cool.
Forey was a
I
legend.
will
Yes,
definitely look into this feller.
yes. Forey had stuff from Forbidden Planet too. He
What?
did. My goodness. Oh God, he had it all. He had the time. Didn't he have Was it him? Hunger Boy. Didn't he actually have the time machine from the movie from the George Powell H.G. Wells Time Machine movie? I think he had the actual time machine
Oh,
for
no
a
way,
while.
really?
I think he did. I think it was him.
Wow.
It was out there. He had all the best props. Well, like I say, he had the prop from Metropolis. Oh, look, there he is.
Yeah, I saw
I think
that.
he had Robbie
That's
the robot.
crazy. Oh, he does. Oh, look at this. He's got Robbie. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was the man. Look, he's got the head of the mutant from Is This Island Earth? Can't really see it there. Yeah. Yeah. Love for Forey. Good. Glad you guys have the love for Forey. There you go. But anyway, he was great. So I got to meet him once for a few minutes at Dragon Con. Very cool. It was I was just awestruck, so I just got him to sign a poster. Yeah, but it was cool. He was very nice and easily approachable.
Beautiful.
And I wish I think Claude got him to sign a Famous Monsters cover, if I remember right.
Wow.
Did he have props from Doctor Who?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe from the actual Peter Cushing movies, but I'm not sure.
Cool.
I do not know, Ezra. I would not have been surprised though. He didn't. I'm sure he knew it. He's sure he knew the show. But yeah, that was before Starlog. It was doing what Starlog did. That magazine.
Oh, neat.
Even though it was called Famous Monsters and it always seemed like monster stuff on the cover, it covered everything. So, anyway, yes sir. So, what else we got going on, my friends? Do you have you got anything else, Raquel, or should we want to take some questions? See if anyone has any questions for us.
Let's take some questions.
Anybody have any? Look at like a little Q&A session before we get out of here tonight. How about that?
Ooh.
If you have anything,
Yeah.
you could suggest a topic because we've talked about different topics to do. I cannot tell you how much I love the thing Raquel does with the movies, and she and Hungry Boy are doing with the movies. That's fantastic. But we've talked about a couple of other things, like we might start maybe each week having a segment where the three of us, talk about a certain TV show. We pick one and we do an episode here and there. Maybe we've talked about that. Just throwing ideas around stuff we can do. So, hey, Matthew
Matthew
Pounder, what's up?
Pounder. Yeah. Well, I think that's a great idea. And, I think there are a lot of people who are receptive to that idea. What we do with Star Trek is Star Trek is a huge IP. It's a massive IP, 735 iterations. It's a lot. But the idea of us exploring Spaceship Orion, the idea of us exploring Blake 7, The Prisoner, UFO, and doing that before, like doing that here on the Clubhouse, that I find that very exciting, because of course, you know, the crew would love it, and we have a great crew here at Clubby's Clubhouse. So I think everyone would really enjoy that. And that was your idea, Clubby. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, we could, instead of like doing it the way we do on Saturday Night Star Trek, which is a whole show devoted to work, you know, doing all of Trek and doing 4 episodes a night. That's more of an organized type thing. Whereas, you know, you can take your time, like each week, talk about either one show, one episode of one show, or maybe one episode of one and one, like do 2 shows, 1 episode of each that we all watched or something. But again, that ties you down too much to have to watch something. That we're already doing that we're already committed to doing that with Trek. However, we can do it, you know, we can do something like that. We would just have to start maybe like at the beginning of the year. You can't just start automatic, just throw it in there. We got to be prepared.
It's true. And it's nice to have like a launch point. January is a good launch point, I think, boss.
Yes. Maybe where we pick a show. Clubby, did you ever meet Patrick McGood? No, I wish I had. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Trevor says Space 1999.
I wish, Ezra, man, I'd have given anything to meet McGowan. He didn't meet too many people, though. He didn't do cons or any of that kind of stuff. Introvert
Irishman. Sorry about that.
Half of it. That's not the half of it. The dude was something.
We're an island of storytellers, but yeah, there are some consequences to that.
No, he was a different kind of a cat. You should watch that. I'm drawing a blank on that 50th anniversary of The Prisoner documentary they did. It was about some guy who got to interview Patrick McGowan back in 1983. Yeah. And about the adventure that he put this dude through. And then after a year or two, after finally, it was a BBC reporter, and then he squelched the thing and forbade it being shown ever. And so no one had seen it until like 2018, which was the 50th anniversary or whatever of The Prisoner. No one had seen this thing until then. And it's a pretty fascinating documentary. What is that thing called? But, you should see it. It's boy, the McGowan run that dude around. He was something. Whew. But I love him, of course. He was crazy in a good way. That's it. Yes, that thing's interesting. I think it's on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken. Well, ours. I don't know about yours. If you get a chance to see that thing, it's pretty interesting if you're a Prisoner fan. Yeah, so Prisoners in my top 3, Pleasant Valley. So I'm glad it's in your top 10. I just love it. Yeah, so he kept meeting this, agreeing to do interviews with this guy, and he kept trying to tell the guy what to do in the interview. He just, I don't want to spoil it for you. It's crazy. Okay, boy, was he something. Yeah, but I loved him. It was amazing. Anyway, I have a couple questions. Anyway, so JT Kirk says, you guys should talk about this obscure TV show. It's called Star Trek. It originally aired back in the 60s. Never heard of it. I know not of which you speak.
What's that show?
Never heard of it. There. Pleasant Valley says, question for Raquel. Are you going to feature a watch party of Master of the World?
I've never hosted. I haven't hosted a watch party before. I do know that there are several apps that you can do it with, like Cosme and stuff like that. But I've never hosted them. I usually just do that with my friends. So I usually wait for Mark to do it or for Clubby to do it, and then I hang around with those guys when they do a watch party. But if Mark, who is our chief engineer, ever decides that he would like to host another watch party, I will definitely let you know.
So you guys are watching Man from U.N.C.L.E. Good. Love it. That's cool. I hope you're enjoying it. And something I'll go back and watch it again one of these days. Ezra. No, he's another one that I have a couple of friends that met Tom Baker. again, he's like, if you talk about the ones I want to meet most, obviously I will never be able to meet Patrick McGowan right now. Of people that are still with us that I haven't met that I want to, Tom Baker. If I think about it, he might be the only one alive now that's like, I mean, obviously there are others you'd like to meet, just once. Tom Baker would be the very top of that list as far as just people who are still with us. Obviously, there are other people who are no longer with us that are on that list that I wish I had been able to meet.
Yeah. Hey, Linrod's here.
Hey, Linrod, what's up?
Hey, sweetheart. He says, "Hail, everyone! Off work early again." Oh, good.
Excellent.
That's always a good feeling.
Excellent. But yeah, PvP. I love the Man from U.N.C.L.E. It's been a while. I'll go back and start watching that again. I wonder where Master of the World is. Now I've got myself hyped up to watch it, even though I've watched it so many times yet. It's been a while now.
Well, I'm watching it right away. I'll probably watch it on Sunday.
Is it, who's carrying or who carries it, or just going to go to
where
do you do it?
I just usually ask the lady, and I can't say her name, otherwise she'll start talking. You know who I'm talking about. That special speaker that lives in your house that listens to everything you say. I usually ask that person, that algorithm.
Gotcha. Well, there's an interesting interview with McGowan. I did on Canadian TV, The Prisoner Puzzle. I think I may have. I can't swear to it, but I may have seen that one because I've watched a bunch of the times, a bunch of things he's on YouTube. He's done a lot of interviews. But this was one, I don't know what the deal was at. We have an interloper.
Hey, I figured.
Hey.
Thanks for popping in, man. What's happening? The great 12th day with us 3. How you doing?
Hey, everyone. Yeah, so back at school in college days, it was midnight. You'd watch Star Trek, with the cool kids.
Never heard of it.
So that was our study break. So you never heard of that Star Trek on channel 11 WPI? Yeah, it's a pretty good show. You might like it. There's a cool guy called Captain Kirk and a funny guy that looks like Namor with pointy ears.
Oh, yeah, that pointy-eared Dr. Spock, right?
Yeah, Dr. Spock. Yeah, he wrote that really cool book about science fiction, how you should raise Wesley.
That was science fiction, yes, about how to ruin your child. I remember that book.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of fun. So I'm just burning the midnight oil. I got a program book for a charity I'm on the board for. So we raise funds for scholarships for kids in need who are athletes, and we donate. The towns never cover, all the equipment the kids need, or like the football team, those big sleds that they have to push all the linemen around practice. American football, Raquel. Yeah. You've never seen those, but sports scene.
Canadian football is very similar, so she's seen it.
That's true. Yeah, maybe you've seen it. But yeah, so it's like we bought a new sled for the sled was like $6,000 to buy for the team. Yeah. Wow. It's crazy expensive, yeah. So the school doesn't cover it, so we step in. So hi to everyone.
TV talking about the Prisoner with Prisoner fans. When was that? Cool. I'd like to see that when Ezra he passed in 2009, so that obviously had to be before that. But he used to not talk about the show much, but I guess he did later. So very
reluctant to discuss things.
But I have seen some interviews that took place like in the 70s and stuff, where he would talk about how I remember seeing one of note where all the trouble that happened when Fallout ran the last episode, how people they wanted to burning up the switchboards at the Thames or whatever with the production company, and he had to break. He went and got his kids out of school and stuff because people were threatening him. I mean, people were
upset with him.
It made me love that ending even more because I love Fallout. I have friends, even people who love the show, who hate that episode and like to whine about it, and it makes me happy every time I hear it. I love Fallout. I'm sorry, but nothing happened. He didn't do it. I said exactly. One thing you got to learn is you're never going to know what he meant because he's never going to tell anybody. The thing you got to know about the Prisoner is it's about questions, not answers, and he doesn't answer things like every other. If you want an answer, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Because he tacked Fallout onto it. That was Once Upon a Time was supposed to be the ending. And then later, it was months later, in fact, and he went and made Fallout and went insane. And it was insane because he says the world's insane. There are things you're gonna go to your grave not knowing certain things, and that's the way it is. And
I got to know.
telling you.
Gots to know.
And if he and our good buddy Doomcock says he knows, and he's going to write a book about it one day. Nobody knows, but I would still read that book if he writes it.
Well, it's like the Sopranos ending, the fade to black. I mean, not as crazy as an episode, but people were, thought their TVs broke.
People were pissed off. Yeah.
I always liked the ending. I always thought it was a pretty unique ending. And one of the writers, now that the main actor passed away, they're not going to do any more films. But he basically spilled the beans and said that was supposed to be, Tony fading to black, getting shot by some assassins in the restaurant. But then he got in trouble for saying that, I guess. But but that's cool when you can interpret the ending multiple ways. Sometimes you hate it, but sometimes it's kind of like the ending of The Thing, right?
Tom's here.
Tom, what's up, dude?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
They made a prequel to what? You mean the Prisoner? Or is he talking about something? Oh, The Sopranos. Oh, The Sopranos.
Yeah,
right?
they did. Yeah, then they made the prequel.
That's an interesting topic in of itself. It's endings to certain things, endings to shows, because endings to books and movies are a little bit different. Sometimes endings to TV shows, because it's tough to end a TV show.
Oh yeah.
There was a time when the show just got canceled, and no one ever got a chance to end it. Or they just it's over. That would be one.
Probe.
Thank you. What are you trying to do to me, man?
He does it on purpose.
I just sat through a really piece of garbage movie for 4 hours that no one else went to see, and you're gonna throw stuff like that at me.
Sorry.
Well, he likes to make you happy, and whenever
He
we
does.
mention something like that, then you're like,
Yeah, it's your happy place. Hey,
happy place.
You got 7 good hours of TV at least. Hey, did Paulie like Namor or?
I didn't get to see his whole review yet.
I didn't get a chance to. Yeah.
Well, he likes everything.
I know Tom didn't.
Stop saying Namor. Tom didn't.
Well, because it is Namor. It's not Namor. It's Namor.
Even in the stupid movie, he said no more a couple times, but everyone else kept saying Namor in the movie because they didn't get the memo, I guess. But he's not Namor. He's not the Submariner. But what about the ending of movie shows that actually did end though, like St. Elsewhere? A lot of people hate that ending, and I didn't really care about the show anyway.
I love St. Elsewhere.
The Newhart ending was great.
Yeah, that's all a dream.
Tom has some commentary in the chat.
He said, I didn't go to see Black Pantsless Wakanda for never. Well, good. You didn't miss anything, dude. I went and MASH had a great ending.
Thing?
No, I didn't. It was $25. Screw them. Here's the thing about MASH for me. MASH ended after the end of the 3rd season for me. The ending was goodbye, farewell, amen. I was kind of checked out of MASH after it stopped being a comedy. When Frank left, and then Henry left, and then it just the first 3 seasons.
And it became the Alan Alda show.
Alan Alda show. That's what I've always called it. Big or tall, short or small, you all have a ball in the Alan Alda show. And it became. It lost something. It lost a lot with Henry and Frank. First 3 years of MASH are some of the funniest things ever on TV. I just didn't care for Winchester. Didn't care for BJ that much. Potter, they were all right, but it just became a war show, and it's a show that outlasted the war it was about by 8 years or whatever.
Yeah, it was longer than the actual Korean War.
Way after. So that's why the last one didn't have an effect. The Fugitive last episode, that was before that MASH episode. Last episode dwarfed it. The Fugitive episode was the biggest rated thing ever.
Well, I remember for MASH, everyone watched that. We had a scout meeting that night, and then the scoutmaster brought a TV because our meeting was from 7 to 9, and we watched MASH.
It was still big now.
Oh, it was huge, and we all
it was big,
all your buddies watched it. We all loved it. So you're probably in the minority on not liking it there. But
no, I just was kind of done with the show, but I watched that. Yeah. Magnum PI did have an interesting finale at Hungry Boy, but remember though it ended.
They redid
and
it,
then they came back.
They undid it.
They undid it, and they came back with another season because Tom Selleck was kind of just said, I thought everybody wanted to stop. We're going to do one more season. Cheers had an interesting ending.
That's what Tom said.
I can't remember the Cheers one exactly. I got to admit, I may have stopped watching it. I don't know. Barney Miller.
Didn't the bar close? The bar closed.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Barney Miller had a good ending, or an interesting ending.
But wasn't that a real bar?
32 Flavors. What's up?
Hey, Nick!
Nicholas, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
I hope we get you to
sweetheart.
pass out.
You know, we'll help you pass out. Just
Oh,
if
that
you
is
need
a
to
real
pass out,
bar, Raquel.
watch Wakanda.
It is a real
Yeah.
bar, isn't it, Mark?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
but
Sam and
but it
Diane
wasn't.
got married.
You know, obviously it wasn't filmed there, but it was a real
Yeah.
bar, and you can go
Yeah.
visit it and kind of modeled after it. But yeah,
I
Yeah.
forgot that ending, Tom. So damn. But some endings are not popular.
Did
I mean,
anyone
sometimes
want Sam to be married to Diane Chambers?
I don't know. I was kind of. I watched the show sometimes. I liked it better when Coach was on it, and you know,
Coach was great,
after
yeah.
Coach died, so I can't know. I don't remember if I watched that last episode, or if I was watching it at the time.
Oh, Cavantino Cavalryman
Hey,
Che is here.
Cappuccino.
Hey.
What's up?
Uh-oh. He says, warning, do not ask Mexican Iron Man about his opinion about Wakanda. Bestest ever. He had a rant during Polly Street.
I gotta go watch that. Mexican Iron Man, where are you? We should have you on to yell about it, because I was very calm. Was I not very calm about it in the first hour? Sort of. All
Tom
right,
says-
back me up.
Tom says, I know that Diane came back for the finale, though. Maybe he got with Kirsty. I can't recall. It's been too long. He married one of them, he says, laughing out loud.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
He didn't marry Diane. He married Savak, didn't he?
Look at this. Look at this.
Don't know. What?
Pod Racing Palpatine says, oh, that was a rant for the ages.
Oh, now I want to go watch that. Did he rant in Polly's ear?
I don't know. Scary. Scary, because when Mexican Iron Man goes off, he goes off.
Rant of Razor Fist does. Wow. I mean, I had no energy left when the thing was over. I didn't rant much. I was just like, it sucks and it's garbage and it's. I couldn't work up a rant. So Mike went to see it then.
Yeah, unfortunately, poor guy.
So yeah, I can't remember who he married either, Tom.
No.
I guess I didn't watch it.
Pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get mad at Tom if he can't remember everyone in the chat, because I think he was just throwing it out there because somebody just casually threw out the question, what was a good ending? Like when people, and I think the sentiment was, when we really love shows and they last for a really long time, it's
Right.
really hard to end them because people always have hard feelings about it ending. And I think that's what Tom was getting to. Tom was trying to dig around in his memory to find something that may have made people happy. When people are ready to let a show go, perhaps they're a little happier with the ending. I don't know. Anyways, Tom wasn't being hard and fast with that. He was just talking about perhaps there are a couple of shows.
Oliver Belamonte, since we are doing sort of a Q&A tonight to close up, folks, he says, Clobby Raquel, in the concept of time travel. Oh, you really want to get Captain Finity's shirt up.
Where's Finity?
Captain Finity's here.
Do you prefer alternate timelines, branch timelines, or time paradoxes that entices sci-fi film or TV? Man, you really want us to get us in trouble with the time police, don't you?
Time Variance Authority is going to show up.
Oliver, I can't say if I have a preference one way or the other. I think my preference is sometimes they do it wrong in Star Trek. You know how much we love Star Trek. I don't like the way they handle time travel sometimes in Star Trek. Whereas if it's a show that is about time travel, like Doctor Who, they have the great concept for it, and that's what the show's all about. So in a show where the actual premise is time travel, I think it works better if you're just using it once in a while in a story like they do in Star Trek. There's some great ones. There's some not so great ones. Aside from that, I don't think they have much of a preference if it's an interesting and entertaining story. Then I tell you what, they overuse it in comics so much, and they use it unbelievably idiotically in Avengers Endgame, which is one of the most frustrating movies I've ever seen. So yeah, that's I don't have big opinions on it like Captain Finity does.
I'm sick of time travel too. I agree with him. It's just,
wait a minute.
I've never liked time travel. I think that there's a way to do it, and then I think there is a way not to do it. And I think
Oh,
really
my goodness.
basically either you have to be an astrophysicist, or you have to really study up, or you have to leave it a complete mystery, you know, like the Guardian of Forever. And
Leave it a mystery.
then I'm okay. But I don't like time travel. I think time travel is a weak way of telling stories.
I don't
I
like
think
it in Star Trek.
we've been there, done that. Been there, done that.
Look at this. So our lovely, wonderful friend Six, according to Tom, walked out after an hour and 20 minutes from, I'm assuming, because I know she went to see Wakanda. So is that what you're saying, Tom, that she walked out?
Six walked out of the theater?
Woo.
Ooh.
Ouchies.
I don't blame. It is a bore, man. Look,
It's that bad.
I was
Wow.
teasing J-Man and Sean about backing out on it. I hope they didn't take it as now they got to go, because I told Sean, don't do it, man. Look, I mean, you know, I ain't your pappy. Go see whatever you want to see. But man, I'm telling you. Dad man, what's up, buddy? And good to see you, man. Dad man of the Dad man clan. Mrs. Dad man. Hey. Tom says, yeah, unless time travel is the main point, i.e. Back to the Future, Frequency Terminator. But if it's introduced in out of nowhere, it's more of a weak story trope. Yeah, I agree with that, Tom. Like I say, I love City on the Edge of Forever, but at least they give you, it works because the show's just so beautiful. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to see it all the time. And in Star Trek, at times there's some good time travel episodes, but for the most part, it's not what the show should be focusing on. Just for me, he says that she left Black Panther after 1 hour and 20. Whoa! I wish I'd have thought of that. I had somebody with me. I couldn't do it.
You couldn't leave, right?
I was so bored. You know, the movie, like I told everyone at the beginning of the show, the movie starts out, you know, with a bummer, a funeral. It's depressing, and it never rebounds from that with any joy at all. It's just like, thanks a lot, guys. You know, you just want to make us wallow in misery about, you know, the death of this poor individual in real life by interjecting that into your fantasy movie. It's just not a good fit, not a good look, but whatever, guys. It's just boring, and it's a terrible plot that I laid out earlier. It's pure garbaggio, in my opinion. I'm trying to decide where to rank it right now. As you all know, my great retro blasting buddy Michael French and I, for the past 2 years in a row, we counted down our Marvel movies, ranking all 29, now there are 30, from worst to first. And I currently have at 29, the last place, Eternals. Now we have a 30th film, which is Black Pantsless, Wakanda for Never. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Do I put it at 30? Do I put it at 20? Is it worse than Eternals? Is it too early for me to make that decision?
Oh, wait, but this is the really important question. Is it worse than a movie that doesn't exist, Highlander 2? What would you rather sit through?
No, it's not worse than that.
It's not worse than that.
No.
Okay.
Highlander 2 is worse, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, that's probably the worst movie that I try to
say
that doesn't exist. So, yeah.
I got to put this on the marquee. Look at
those whom, and what is it? What did he say that word?
Eunuch Namor deserve to watch alligator people on loop for 35 years.
I would watch alligator people before I'll ever watch Black Pantsless Wakanda for Never again. I'll tell you that much. And Pleasant says, Clobby, I don't rank garbage, just toss it in the bin. Well, I rank it. I rank garbage. I'm a garbage ranker. I can't, sorry. I ranked
very
it.
Sad.
And I got Eternals at the bottom of the barrel at 29, but now there's a 30th movie. And I don't know if I'm going to put that. I might rank it lower than Eternals. Eternals may be worse. Boy, it's tough. I mean, it's tough. Because this movie's just, it's more, first of all, I almost did it again. You should never say the term, is it more boring? Is it more boring or more bad? They're the same thing. More
boring.
They're the same thing. Boring is bad, isn't it? You don't want to be bored.
I don't know, but the chat is lighting up here.
Maybe that TikTok. Oh, the TikTok brat. I wish I'd listened to her. Maybe the TikTok brat knew something we didn't when she said some of us couldn't go see Black Pantless, Wakanda Forever. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, JT. I wish I'd have listened to her now. And I'm going, she's on to something. Maybe it wasn't made for me. I understand PvP. I understand humor. You're good. Thank you. Let's see. I respectfully disagree. You can even disrespectfully disagree. That's even more fun. As bad as that movie is, the Wing Commander movie is Wing Commander. Wow, that's pulling out something obscure there, huh, buddy?
Yeah.
Way worse, especially
wasn't
when you
Freddie Prinze Jr.
person who made person who made the games made the movie. I've never actually seen Wing Commander, buddy, so I don't know.
This is
I love those games.
Being a geek is that you know so much crap about just crappy TV and film.
Yeah, that is a geecupational hazard.
Look,
yeah, Mark Hamill was in that, but
I've never seen a Freddie Prinze Jr. movie, and Mark knows this obscure thing.
Yes, he's in there.
Well, I played all the games, so it was. Imagine this, where you have think of this. You have actually a disc.
On the game.
You have a disc that's like silver colored. You can put it in your open the tray, put it in your computer. You probably don't have those on your computer anymore. And it played a game where it actually had video in the game, that cutscenes, like an actual movie on your computer.
Yeah.
So it was a huge. It was like the CD-ROMs back then. That was a big deal where they added cutscenes to the game. Yeah. So it was Mark Hamill was in there, and there was a big creature, kind of looked like Chewbacca. It was his buddy, but then there's a twist and turn in the plot. What was the race? The Kilrathi? I can't remember, but they look like big
Star Wars rip game. Yeah.
It was a Star Wars rip-off game, but it was damn good. And then they made tried to make a movie out of it, because the cutscenes were a movie. So it was it was fun. Yeah.
Oh well. Again, I've never watched it there, so sorry about that. Cal, I don't know, but I take your word for it. I'm sure it was. A lot of people said it was bad. So a lot of video games movies are, from what I understand, for fans of video games, they rarely like the movie.
Yeah, Yui Bowl. Was it Yui Bowl?
Was that a Yui Bowl?
No, that wasn't him, because Steven, it was the same guy. It was Chris.
It was before him.
Something that made the game, but he's famous for making all the bad.
Yui Bowl's famous for making the bad. Yeah, but I knew that, but I didn't know I don't know if it was him that did that one. So he didn't do that one. Anyway, so Wing Commander, that's a strange thing to bring up there, dude. But I applaud you for it.
Great game, great game.
But the movie Wakanda Forever is gonna do well, from what I for a while, at least this weekend. Cal says, I'll embody the persona of my screen name for a moment and save you from viewing that dumpster fire movie. I trust you, and I shall never ever lay eyes upon it, my friend. But again, but I will lay out for next week for sure. Number one, because I haven't watched it in a long time. We should talk about Master of the World if you can find it. I gotta find it because I have an old burned copy. I need to just get the Blu-ray. If it's on Blu-ray.
When you asked me to have a little look-see, I did see it populate on DuckDuckGo as something you can get on Tubi. I love that movie.
It's on Tubi?
Yeah.
Ooh,
according to DuckDuckGo, it populated under Tubi on DuckDuckGo 2 or 3 times. So I'm not sure which country I didn't click, because I don't like to click when I'm on air.
No. But Tubi doesn't have a lot of stuff. If they have that, I need to get the Blu-ray. It's probably on Blu-ray. Probably fairly cheap. I don't know. I love that movie. You ever see that movie, Mark?
Which one?
Master of the World, 1960. Charles Bronson and Vincent Price.
No,
based
I don't
upon
think
the
so.
Jules Verne novels.
I mean, I might have seen it like in the ABC After School movie, but I'm forgetting it right now.
I don't think they showed it on the ABC After School movie. Dang it. No. They used to show it in cable rotation forever in the 70s.
We used to get Godzilla all the time. It was great when it was Godzilla week.
Well, yeah, I think we're referring to two different things. When you said ABC, did you say ABC After School movie?
Well, it was like, they would have like
after school specials.
No, it wasn't after school special, but they would have like movies after, sometimes they'd have like a Godzilla week or something, or they'd have a theme week. But I don't think I've seen that one, but
well, looks like It's on Tubi, but it's probably up there.
Yeah,
in
but
Canada.
PvP, honey, you say CA on yours, but they all think you're from California. They don't realize you're from British Columbia.
I know he is though, because so let me
Yeah,
check.
so
I'll check Tubi.
that's if he's looking up that's for the Canadians.
I'm
So
checking. So
yeah, you would have to check your own Tubi Clobby.
one day I'm just going to try to find the Blu-ray.
It's not on Tubi in Australia. Hungry Boy has confirmed. So you'll have to check the United States.
Checking the U.S. now. What is that a remake? I'll punch somebody if that's a remake. There's a movie of that title. Get ready to get the world to get punched in the face. It says Master of the World, 1983. No, that's not a remake, but it's used the same title.
Hey, Grimdark.
Grimdark, what's up?
Hey, Grimdark.
Oh, this is some movie. Okay, this is a different Master of the World. This is so.
It's not a Master of the Universe, just Master of the World, right?
Master of the World, and it's called from 1983. I'm talking about the movie from 1960. Excuse me.
Check.
Well, damn them. So,
sorry for the
in fact,
everyone.
I'll pull out some pictures of it. I'll show some pics from it here. Let's see. I haven't thought about that in a long time, but I think you just might like it. Okay. Because you like cool stuff. There we go. 1961. There's some pictures from it. I mean, how you get cooler? It's just.
Ooh, the official trailer is on here.
They have a trailer?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I've got some pictures. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. There we go.
Yeah, it does look really cool.
Yes. There he is.
It's on
There's the Blu-ray.
That's on
I
Blu-ray?
gotta get the Blu-ray. Yeah. I must have that.
Oh no.
Dell did a comic adaptation. What?
The book is on archive.org, but I don't think the film.
Oh, cool.
I'm looking now.
Damn them. Damn them all to hell. There he is. Jules Verne's fabulous. Insect the color. Yeah, there was even a Dell comic adaptation of it. So yeah, Amazon. There you go. I wonder if it's. Now I will try to get it on a Blu-ray. So there you go. There you go. Been a while since I've seen it, but I used to love it. So,
Hungry Boy says it's not on archive.org. I checked hours ago.
Oh man,
yeah, but the book is oddly.
Oh, these people, come on.
Yeah, why not? All the other stuff they put on there. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh, Hungry Boy sent you the link, honey.
He did.
Yeah.
To what?
To the movie.
Oh,
where you can watch it for free.
Oh yeah.
Without having to do any hanky-panky, schmanky,
I'd have
wanky,
to watch it on
whatever.
Thank you, dude. I'd have to watch it on my computer. Is the only thing. If I can't find a way to watch it on in my living room, I'll definitely. If worst comes to worst, I will watch it on the computer. But man, I appreciate that, bro.
We got to get you a mirroring app so that you can.
I do have a mirroring app. I guess I could do it on that.
Yeah, you could mirror. Yeah.
Just depends.
Or depending on the since you have a Roku now, depending on the website, sometimes Roku has.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And there's a zillions of like all these movie channels too. If you go on the Roku, and you just search for streaming movie channels, it's amazing. Ton of free stuff out there.
Yeah. I keep forgetting to watch Weird. I got to watch it this week. I know Tom watched it. It's on Roku for free. I got to watch that this week. And for the next week. But what was I going to say? I don't know if Tom, if you're still here or not, but man, tell Six I got to talk to Six. Maybe I'll talk to her Tuesday night. I got to hear what she says. Anybody who walked out of it, she must have really.
Well, he just started Mead Radio, so he's probably stepped away, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he started Mead Radio at 11 o'clock.
Okay, we'll be hanging out, get out here in a bit anyway, and we'll send everybody over that way because Tom does a great Mead Radio. Mead Radio is excellent. Okay, everybody, let's see here. Well, first of all, do either of you have any closing words?
I do. I want to thank
Go for it,
everyone
number
who
one.
showed up tonight and contributed to this wonderful conversation. Thank you, each and every single voice, all your ideas, your questions, your opinions, they matter to us. And so thank you for your marvelous conversation. It was outstanding. I want to thank all of our wrenches, D. Bud Martin, Chris Persia, Eric K. I love you guys very much. Thank you for protecting this environment and these discussions. I want to thank Mark D with a C for showing up, even though he has work to do, and he is so generously donating his time to charity. And please follow Mark on Twitter, and please follow Mark on YouTube. He is a heck of a lot of fun with lots of geeky and nerdy hijinks happening at all times. Also, check out his shorts because they're a lot of fun. And by shorts, I don't mean his shorts.
Yeah.
Check out his short videos. And I want to thank Clobby, the grand poobah of all of geekdom. I love you with all of my heart. You're one of my best friends in this whole wide world. And thank you for creating this space for us so that we can come together and talk about all of this nerdy and geeky stuff. I adore you. Oh, and look at who walked through the door.
Hey, Boosh.
Yeah, but Shooter's here too. Pew,
Shooter,
pew,
Shooter, hey.
and Boosh.
He didn't get the alert, he
Good to
said.
see you.
That's a
Bush
bummer.
Didn't
says-
get the alert. I'm sorry.
Bush says, I just got
Oh.
home from the grind. I could have been listening this whole time.
Damn, I don't know, Boosh. I'm not sure, bro.
Bush.
Don't know why it does that, partner. It's weird stuff, man. But I'm sure sorry about that. Because we love having everybody hanging out with us. And,
No, Shooter
Yeah.
said the same thing. He just said you and me
Really?
both, Bush
Weird.
McFadden, yeah.
Now, when you say the notifications, you're talking about just like a YouTube, basically. Because I don't know, it just depends. When I click, this is me. When I click notify on somebody's video, I get one on my phone. Even I
Yeah.
get like someone. I mean right when the show starts. So I don't know. I mean, I guess. Other than that, I don't see normal notifications. Like I have a lot of channels that I subscribe to that I don't get a chance to go by to see if they got one programmed and then go click notify on it. But when I do that, I've been getting them. I don't know. Strange.
Well, there's a difference between the notification, like you said, if you see like Saturday Night Star Trek's coming up and you happen to click on it, then I always get those. But I think I turn my web browser off. Sometimes the pop-up comes on, and you just click no. Do you want to see these anymore? You're like no.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh wait, no, how do I change that?
Yeah.
So sometimes it could be your browser notifications are turned off
right.
because they're annoying you, or it's just not working. But that's you can check your browser. Most people are using Chrome, so I'd say check your browser notifications.
That's right.
Under Chrome.
Yep. And make sure that you have
gotcha.
nudges enabled, because if you want to sometimes you have to enable your nudges in order for those notifications to appear.
Gotcha. Any closing words, Marco?
No, just I'm sorry I couldn't be on the whole night, but it was great, great listening. I'm gonna head over to Mead, and that'll keep me up. I'm gonna be up all night, unfortunately, probably.
Tom
Don't leave things to the last minute. But no, it was a great discussion tonight, and I got to go watch the Gorn People movie again. I haven't seen that one in years.
Gorn People. You're gonna go watch the alligator Gorn People?
Lon Chaney Jr., one of the greatest actors ever of all time, and
he
got
was
stuck in that. Yeah, but shows just no matter how good you are, sometimes you can't rise above bad material. But it's got to be better than that new
monster
Gorn
stuff. He got typecast into monster stuff.
Yeah.
I love that you're going to watch it, Mark D with a C.
He's lying. He's not going to watch it.
That's why
I saw it years ago. It was so bad. I remember reading about it too in some fanzines, bad movies. And
yeah.
That'll keep me up. I don't know. Maybe it'll put me to sleep.
If it's 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, and some even 1970s, and certainly there are some really great 1980s sci-fi.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is all really, it's rare that it's good.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yep. That's for sure. Well, it's like anything else. Was it Theodore Sturgeon, the great science fiction writer, once famously said 10% of everything is crap. 90% of everything is crap. He may have been. I'm not even kidding. He did. Look it up. Theodore Sturgeon. I bet I can find it. He did say that, and he wrote some Star Trek episodes.
Some great episodes.
Yeah, he wrote. Did he write a mock time or whatever? Theodore. I want that quote's out there. Sturgeon. Let's see. Watch. I'm gonna say. I'm 90%. I'm gonna put his name and put 90%. Let's see what happens.
Pleasant Valley Picker. Back in those decades, trash could be great, and you look back on it now, and you're just like, oh man, why did I think this sucked?
It is.
This was good.
Sturgeon's law: 90% of everything is crap. Sorry, I'm telling me to cut you off. It's like, good.
No, I don't care if you do that. I love that you do that. We're friends. Bush says caviar. In response to Sturgeon, it's just he's my Bush. Yeah. He's my Bush, McFadden.
It's called Sturgeon's law, folks. There it is.
Sturgeon's
right there.
law is always eat caviar, right? Bush.
I guess. Sturgeon. Yeah. It's a great quote. Heard it decade. Yeah, it's been 90% of everything is crap. So there you go. crap. Wow. Why do I remember dumb stuff like that? I can't believe it.
That's not.
That's a Harlan Ellison. That's a very Harlan Ellison thing to say, by the way. Of him, boob grabber, live us. I think you mean like a sturgeon, Captain Finity.
Oh, that Weird Al movie is out now on.
Called Weird. Yeah, Tom saw it. He didn't, and I need to watch it. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I was waiting for my son, but he's out of town for a week. I'm all by myself here now. Probably gonna get shot, but I don't know what that even means. But I'm gonna go ahead and watch it without him.
What are you trying to scare the crap out of me?
Look, if I do, I'll let you. I mean, it's not like I wouldn't tell you. Hey, I got shot and killed. Just let you know. If I do,
or just lie. Just say you didn't see it, and just say, "I'll watch it with you now." When he gets home, we'll never know.
Yeah, no, he's out.
Right, Bush?
He's out. So I'm waiting long enough. No, I'm not waiting.
Not waiting anymore.
So anyway, thank you all for being here with us tonight. Let's see. Show notes. Or show notes are, let me say, yeah, bloody blah. Again, rest in peace, Kevin O'Neill. Rest in peace, Carlos Pacheco, comic book artist legends who will be missed. Saturday night Star Trek, folks. 4 more episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Captain Finity. That first episode, Visionary, that we'll be reviewing this week. We may need you to see that one.
Is there traveling of time in that one?
The time police. That's all I'm going to say is the time. We might need the time police to weigh them on that one. You might need the time police. How do you call the time police? Because Captain Finity is captain of the time police squad. Yes. So yeah, like if you have an emergency, if you need someone to help you with your time travel problem, call Captain Finity. The special. No timeline can be ever. No timeline could ever be malleable. Yes. If your timeline is in danger of being malleablated, call Captain Finity and his time squad. We'll work on that, Captain Finity. It's Captain Finity and the Time Rangers. How about that? Oh, there you go. That's Captain Finity and his Galactic Time Rangers. Keeping the timelines safe for idiots who screw around and make excuses for Back to the Future 2. Think of poor Edith. Oh, dear. Like that. All right, everybody. Well, we did the shout-outs at the beginning when we shouted everyone else. We're not going to waste your time by doing the long-ass shout-out again like I always do. I know you find it tedious. I'll simply say this. You have been warned at the beginning of this show about Black Pantsless Wakanda for Never. I warned you. See it at your own risk, because and then you could, if you do, you'll feel as dumb as I do. I don't know, but I'll tell you this: our new information is that our lovely, wonderful friend Six, who's of course a good friend of our buddy Tom at Midnight's Edge and a moderator over there, and a moderator for others, and a dear friend here and a member, She walked out after an hour and 20 of it. I wish I'd walked out at about 20 of it, 20 minutes, but I haven't quite rated it yet. But
was the popcorn good?
Popcorn was all right, but look, I can't guarantee the popcorn where you live. It may not be as good. The cherry Coke was good, but I can't guarantee that that's going to be the same where you go. You might have a really shitty concession stand. Okay, so go see it at your own risk. But you've been warned. You can't blame me now. And J-Man, if you hear this before you go, and Sean, I was just busting you guys' chops. I don't blame you. Don't feel like I'm guilting you into going. I can take it. You don't have to. So, and I think I'll be on. Let's see, Saturday morning on Saturday afternoon. I think around 1 Central. I'll be on Paulie's channel with a bunch of people reviewing it. So there you go. I talked to Paulie today before I went to see it. He said he was going, and now he's seen it. And everybody go check out Paulie's video after review of it. I think it's like an hour or something and some change. Because I hear that Mexican Iron Man had some fun there. Now I can't wait to hear what he did. I'm here he went off on it, so that'd be fun. So thank you all, everyone. Please remember. Oh, I got an announcement. This next Tuesday, I'm not sure exactly what time we will do it. We're launching our wonderful first officer's new book. The book is coming out, folks, and it's coming out. The release date is Tuesday the 15th. We will have a special live stream to launch that in the daytime or in the later hour, in the afternoon hours, I believe, to talk about that, to get that launched. And so we'll put the word out and well in advance when we know we're going to do it. And so please support that book. Please check it out. Please spread the word. And Raquel and I would both very much appreciate you for doing that. So thank you all. Enjoy these closing messages and credits, and have a fantastic weekend, my friends. Take care.
I just love clobbering time.
If you receive Alamarine, you'll come with me.
Clobberanimo!
Was that ending better than Black Panther?